We're going for the Tigers, 1 point and 2 point respectively. And we're looking forward to a big game, Pop.
We are indeed. Starting in the centre, Axford, Robinson, Salter and McCallum for Drouin, and for Morwell, Rosado, Hecker, Giath and the big man Isaac Abbas.
And it will be McCallum and Abbas to do battle to open up the first quarter here in round 7. And McCallum tapped it straight down, gets the handball back. Handball's inboard to a teammate, got dumped in a tackle. And the umpire, the tackle is from Rosado, as Suter quickly plays the advantage, got it down towards Linton at half forward. Handballs to Cale, first inside 50 for the Tigers. Wilson's the target, brings it to ground. That might be his role this afternoon, and Anderson dies of it. Giath, or maybe he might just be kicking goals as Wilson snaps around the body. First score, it's a minor one.
I don't mind that, Daryl. We thought that he might have been a backup ruckman and he could be still, but he made a great contest there and then actually even butted up his own fumble.
Here we go, ball brought back into play. Come grandstand side to King. King gives the handball, plays on quickly. The kick cut off by Rosado. He plays on whilst being tackled at the same time. Kicks to the danger zone. Free kick, play on's the call. Roving beautifully, snapping on goal. Zach Anderson doesn't make the distance. Goes over the boundary line, just 5 metres from Morwell goals. They're kicking to the right-hand side of your radio.
I think the umpire actually owes Morwell a free kick. That was just incredible.
Hilliard's been
still down.
Yeah, he's kneed right in the buttocks. And there's plenty there.
The front buttocks it was.
No, I think it was the back buttocks where they actually are located.
Where's the front buttocks?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Well,
but
I'm trying to be...
So you're saying in the groin area?
Yeah, I think you'll find it was in the rear. Well, from this stoppage, Wans does well. Handballs over the top to Robinson. Sells some candy. Goes back out wide now. Axford gets it further afield where Wans ran on. His kick outside defensive 50. Looking for Bailey Beck. Couldn't mark it. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Minute in, and the Tigers have got the point. And Drouin yet to pass the halfway mark of the ground.
Paul Carter, can you just keep an eye on Tyler Hillier's front bum to see how he shapes up? Giath got rid of McCallum nicely. Hands down, found his teammate in Hecker. Hecker kicks danger zone again. Nice spot play on the call. Over the top, it goes to Linton. Linton should nail this one. He misses what he shouldn't have. And they march to a 2-point lead early in the first quarter.
And that's on the Harvey Norman computers. Gippsland scoreboard. We've only been playing 2.25 minutes so far.
Well, Robertson under a little bit of pressure from a Noblet tackle. For those at the ground, Noblet's wearing number 29 today for the Tigers. We've got another boundary throw in here at Morwell. 60 metres around from goal.
Darryl, just quickly, Callum Hutchinson's coming on for his first run for the game.
A big moment for the youngster as McCallum tapped it over his head. Nicely done there was from Salter. Got a handball over the top. Giath was the one who picked it up for the Tigers. His left foot kick's a bit of a wobbly one, and it's going to be marked across half-back. It looks to be Todd Beck. Clears it to the outer side, looking for Morris, who marks on the wing. Handballs over the top. The run came from Tommy Barr. The interleague representative here from Drouin runs away. Half forward he is. Now he drives it in, top of the 50. The target was Bailey Beck. Over the back, Siddle's there. Well, he tries to get his hand down. Tried to work hard as well was Patrick Charles. Now they're under pressure, the Tigers. And we'll have a stoppage. Well, 4 Tigers spoil each other, and they nearly made a meal of it.
I tell you what, Boxer, they need to be, the forward 6 of Tigers need to be on their game. Drouin spreading very quickly. Now they're inside their forward 50, 15 metres from goals. A bunch of players around the ball means the umpire will take control, ball it up, and we're close on Drouin's goals.
Yeah, it looks like Moore's just done their homework too with their matchup. Musel's got Ferguson. Siddle's picked up Bailey Beck as well. So I like those 2 matchups.
So from this stoppage deep inside Drouin's forward 50, Rosado was there. Handball across to Judah Leak, who just blazed away. It's going to come back. Tommy Barr took the mark. 45 metres out. He'll have to kick it from 50. And with the windsock here blowing towards the Travis Street end of the ground.
Looks a little bit limp to me, Darryl. It doesn't look like there's much wind out there at all.
Well, slight breeze. Slight breeze from left to right. Tommy Barr comes in from 49, right on the paint, gives it a fair hoik, and Tommy Barr's got the distance by a millimetre over the top of Dan Musel's hand. The first goal goes to the midfielder in Tom Barr.
Yeah, it was great work there by Drew, and their spread is, as Poppy did allude to before, is quite incredible. They move really quick on the spread. We saw 2 ill-fated kicks. One was from Giath here, just inside their 50, and then the second one there by Leak was picked off there, and a great goal there to Drouin.
First goal of the match on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboards come at the 4.5 minute mark, and Drouin 1 goal straight 6, led by 4 points over Morwell, who've got 2 behinds, 2 points.
Morwell coach won't be happy with that. Carr, established player, all by himself in forward 50. Quick kick forward, landing his arms. The ball back in the centre. Who's going to get the centre break? Number of players both sides. Fighting hard, can't clear it out. A bounce down to take place.
A little bit of disappointment there for Morwood too. They had a lot of the play there early in that first 6 minutes of the quarter and couldn't capitalise.
McCallum taps it down. Working hard was Axford, who got it on the boot, goes out wide. Running back with a flight there is Cale. Lets it bounce. Now he gathers it. Tries to shrug the tackle. Couldn't do so. Helping out now there is Koss. His kick goes inside forward 50. At the toes there of Ferguson. He handballs backwards to Beck. He stands, delivers. Top of the square it goes. Spoil came from Patrick Charles, and we'll have a boundary throw in again inside Drouin's forward 50. I tell you, they look a little bit dangerous, don't they, when they go inside forward 50 at the moment, the Hawks. As the ball will come back into play, it's another shallow throw in. The umpire said, come on boys, let's sharpen this up, let's do it again. Taking the ruck duties inside forward 50 for Drouin is Collins. Again, another short one. The umpire said, I don't care. We'll play it on. Beck will snap around his body. Last line. Tigers need to spoil. Oh, it was punched straight in the hands of Bailey Beck. And if you're going to spoil down there as a Tiger defender, that's not where you put it at the top of the square, because Bailey Beck slams it home.
Yeah, look, he it was one of those things where damn mules are damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it was 2 against 1. He punched the ball forward right to the danger spot, and Beck was Bailey Beck was in the right spot there, and just dribbled one through.
Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, 6.5 minutes played in this first quarter, and it's 2 goals straight to Drouin, which is 12 points. Morwell 2 behinds, 2 points.
And desperate to get a centre break and put some scores on that big scoreboard. 2 scoring shots apiece, but Drouin seemingly doing it a bit easy. Giants jumped early. Rosado kicked to forward 50. The cusp of who's going to be first player there. It's going to be the youngster in Hecker. Couldn't get a handle on the ball. Giants held without it. A good tackle was laid by Zach Anderson, and that tackle was on Liam Anderson. No relation. The ball to be thrown up right half forward flank, Morwell into attack.
Linton will take the ruck duties. McCallum easily tapped it down. Trying to crash through there was Clayton Kingy. Looked for the free kick, didn't get it. Handball comes out the back there from Anderson. He's been pinged, though, as a throw. Fair enough, too.
Yeah, it was there.
And the free kick will go to Liam Anderson, of his namesake. No brothers, though, but both have red hair. So Anderson kicked it out wide, trying to find a teammate out there. Goes high towards centre-half forward. Flying at the back there was the Tigers. They get it out the back. In the end, the handball lands in the hands of Beck, who can handball over the top to his brother Bailey. And Bailey will get 2 in a row. Every time they go inside forward 50, the Tigers hold their breath. It's danger signs early for Monticello's.
Yeah, look, I'm really impressed here with Drouin, especially with their pace. I thought one thing they wouldn't be able to match is Morwell's pace, and they're actually outdoing them. And their spread on transitions are incredible. And you can see Beck, he just out-sprinted him inside 50. Got the overlap handball, and great goal to Drouin.
3 goals straight, 18 Drouin at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. They lead by 16 points on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Morwell 2 behinds, 2 points.
Yeah, Darryl, just a real quick one. Abbas now changes it full back, and Musil goes into the centre of the ground.
Interesting move. No need to panic just yet, but not the start you wanted. There's Giant kicks from inside the centre square. One-on-one contest. Base of the pack was Anderson after it spilt forward. A quick kick forward. This is a chance for Morwell around the body. And offline, unfortunately, would have been a dream start, I reckon. Was that Zach Anderson on the end of it?
Yep.
For Morwell. So another minor score.
3 behind, 3 points, trailing by 15 points.
Robinson got it out wide, found Ed Morris, who can come back inboard on the 45 kick towards the wings, a wobbly one. It might just come off. Snyder missed it, though. Now is Tommy Barr, left foot delivery. There's going to be a turnover. Charles marks it. Top of his defensive 50. He's got the switch on. And he goes to Noblet. They can get it over the top. McDonald's the one who presents. Now he can turn and go. We know he's got some wheels. McDonald decides to kick it over the top, and he's found that man, Poppy, in Metamucil. Gives it back to McDonald by hand, who gave it back to Musil. His right foot kick will just check and go towards Giath, top of the 50. Suda was on. Went over his head in, beautifully done, to Rosado.
Could he kick it from here? It'd be close, wouldn't he?
He's a monster of a kick. I might just back him in the breeze, Boxer.
No breeze.
Good work, Rosado.
There is no breeze.
He'll have to kick this at least 55. He gets close to the man on the mark, and he's gave it a fair roost. It's across the face. 2-on-1. Wilson causes the contest. Barr got one over the shoulder. The umpire said play on. Hillier, recovered from that front bum corky, has now spotted up Will Kennedy.
Just got to say quickly too, Nick Wilson, he has competed every single time that ball's come in, but it's his second efforts that have been really impressive as well. And hopefully this goal here, he'll be a real good catalyst here for the build-up here.
Well, it's a big important one for Monticello this afternoon. Carlsberg 6-pack for $10. Big moments right now for the Tigers. They trail at the moment by 15 points as Kennedy comes in. Oh. Does it ease the nerves? No, it doesn't. A minor score. So the Tigers have had 4 shots on goal. Drouin have had 3, Paul Carter.
And it's 4 behinds, 4 points to Moore, and 3 goals straight to Drouin. 14-point lead at the 10 3/4 minute mark.
So Eddie Morris gets the kick in from full back and goes long, but it's been taken nicely by Judar Leak.
Yep.
Who finds a teammate as well. He goes the 1-2, dangerous move. He runs himself into trouble. Handball more in hope than anything else. It was cut off by Campbell Jolly. And now Drouin trying to edge forward. They can't. Rosado gives off Musil. They might give ground here. They're under all sorts of pressure. The Tigers, Drouin doing it nicely. A kick to space. Do they find it? They don't. Marked on the half-back flank by the Tigers. Will now start to spread to the outer side of the ground.
Siddle it was, got it across to Snyder. He can go further afield to Giath. Giath will look to handball onto Rosado.
What?
It's a poor one, but Rosado is up to the task.
Jeez.
Did very well. Back to Snyder. Inside 50 again. Hecker, front spot. Rove by. Here he is. Hutchison. Callum Hutchison in his first game. What a front and square. He loves a celebration, and that's the way to start your senior career. Callum Hutchison gets the first for the Tigers.
Oh, take your hat off, Callum Hutchinson. I know we've been speaking about him. That was so exciting. I've got bloody tingles in here. That was incredible. He was in the right spot. It was a good contest inside 50. He read it perfectly, and the snap over his shoulder. A goal he remembered forever.
1-4-10 Morwell at the 12-minute mark on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. They're trailing by 8 points. Drouin are sitting on 3 straight 18.
I'm glad he converted that because I thought the give was on for a runner. If he missed, I would have had to hand it in. But I tell you what, it was a beautiful goal. Probably the hardest of the 5 chances they've had, to be honest.
Absolutely. Could be the spark the Tigers need. It's been all Drouin in this first quarter of round 7 action.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we've got an 8-point game.
Yeah,
absolutely. So they've got a ball up, just forward to centre for the Tigers. Musil will take it against the star ruckman in McCallum, who tapped it down. Morris was his target, picked up by Anderson, though, of the Tigers. Good work there by Cale to cause the stoppage. Now Brereton's under enormous pressure, just drags it in now. He's in strife, and he is. The umpire said that second effort drag in was the problem. And the free kick will go to the number 24, who we're still working on. As he kicks it out wide, nicely done to Ed Morris.
Joe Collins.
Yeah, Collins is it. Thank you very much. As Morris keeps it close to the boundary line. Little underground handball was nicely done there from Bailey Beck, but a free kick will go back to Judah Leak.
So from right half back, Leak looks up forward, goes short, finds Suter. Just forward of right half back flank, the Tigers, grandstand side. He kicks to centre half forward through. Rosado put the hands up, nearly took down a nice mark. McCulloch, was it over the top? I don't reckon it was, but the Drouin boys have got it with numbers. Nicely done.
Oh, Salter.
A dance around by Salter. Feeds off. Well, Rosado's pressure on his opponent there in Fletcher Robertson. Edgar was good. It spilt the ball over. But here they go again. The man that's kicked 2, Bailey Beck, shoots at goal for the 3rd. In fact, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he looking for a teammate. He found Chris Robertson, who'll kick with the boundary line just 1 foot to his left-hand side. But he's on the right side for a right footer. And it's the chance to bring up 4 straight for Drouin in the first 14 minutes. A kick around the body didn't look too bad, I think. Yes, indeed. The 4th for the visitors. And Drouin extend that lead again once more. Boxer.
Yeah, a couple of lucky kicks there for Drouin that fell on the right spot and the players in the right spot at the right time. And it was a great kick there by Beck. I'll be looking at now a match up there for Beck. He's given Siddle a bit of the run around and some really unfortunate times there for Morwell.
Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees Drouin 4 straight 24, leading by 14 points over Morwell, 1-4-10. We've played 14 and a half minutes in this first quarter.
And still, The big ruckman in Isaac Abbas goes back.
I think that's a win for
I don't
Drouin.
mind that.
Getting him. No, I don't like it there. I think he's too good to be down there, but, I think it's a win for Drouin, to be honest. He might be valuable down there, but at this stage, I don't reckon he's touched it since moving down there.
I agree.
And Drouin's 4 goals have come from 5 inside 50s.
Well, McCullum's certainly been on top in the ruck duties. Musa will do his efforts to nullify that, but again, tapped it down. It was picked up by Zach Anderson, though. Kicks to the top of the 50. Behind there was Giath. Just dropping it there was Wayne Morris. Now he's under pressure. Hecker closed. Now so does Hams over the top it was. Wans it was, sorry. Now good step side left and then right. And his left foot kick. A bit of a scrubby one, but it might come off. The Tigers have got 2 out there. The Drouin Hawks have got about 3 or 4. And working hard was at ground level Siddle. And there's going to be a free kick to the Hawks. Well, the weight of numbers in the end, just 1 out. And it's Liam Axford.
So Axford from the outer side wing goes short along the line, finds a teammate, nicely done. Reckon that could be Fletcher Robertson Edgar or Clayton King with those red boots. It is King who kicks inside forward 50. Nice contest. Punched to the boundary by the big man on that occasion that you made mention of, Boxer. And I'm speaking of Isaac Abbas. He finds the boundary, 40 metres from Drouin goals.
The Morwell camp must be tuned in. They've put young Charles has gone to Beck now, so we've had a change there.
Well, they'll need to be very tight. He's got a couple in this first quarter again. McCullum taps it towards his goal line. Quick little kick out of there was from Snyder to open space. He says to Cale, go and get it. Closing quickly is Robertson Edgar. Now it's a one-on-one. Abbas came in. Robinson does woe for the Hawks. Just toe poked it. He's going to get the handball back. The Tigers have got some numbers. Hillier recovered, gave it to Cale. His kick was smothered by Robinson. It's still in the field of play. Siddle decided to keep it in. And Josh Scott for the Tigers said, no, it was Cale in the end decided, I've had enough of this. We'll ball it up. And we'll have a boundary throw in as well at the same time. 16 and a half minutes. It's Drouin 4 straight 24. They lead the Tigers 1-4-10.
So they're just outside their forward 50. McCulloch just taps it inside at forward 50. Nice tackle there, though, by Zach Anderson. Keeps the ball in on his Drouin opponent, and in doing so, the umpire will give it another go. The last man up there was Eddie Morris for the Hawks. So they're inside forward 50, Drouin, and they're starting quite well as we thought they might. Abbas gets the tap. Coming through without the ball was Anderson again. Who's the first player there? I reckon it was Rosado fighting hard. Abbas, a sneaky little handball, found a gap.
Yeah, they got the number.
A quick kick forward, fell in the arms of Joe Collins.
Yeah, it looks like Moore's playing a 5th midfielder up off the half-forward line, so they're going to get picked off like that all the time if they're going to just kick and hope.
Ball went over for a boundary throw-in. The coach of Drouin, Jordan Kingy, was the target. We've got a boundary throw-in, 7.5 minutes gone. First quarter, it is a 14-point margin. I just sense, though, Drouin probably should be a little bit more in front. They've dominated this first quarter. McCullum especially just took it out of the ruck, handled across out in front of Jordan Kingy. Now closing quickly was Koss. And Jackson Koss. It was a good tackle from Snyder.
Is it one of those things where maybe a roller dice and just put Nick Wilson, the crash and bash, in there with McCullum just to try and nullify his influence on the game?
Yeah, his body works pretty good, isn't he?
It is.
In bounce downs, centre of the ground, Abbas can contest, but just hasn't got the frame to deal with the big, bulky McCulloch as Tigers come out of defence. Can't get past that man again, Joe Collins. He's been busy in the last few minutes. Kicks to within 40. Nice
Beck.
mark. Probably a bit too easy in the end, because taking the mark was Toddy Beck. And Bailey, his brother, has already kicked 2, and Toddy doesn't want his little bro getting too far ahead. He'll kick from 45, almost directly in front. Let's see if he can convert. Is that Nick Wilson with his hands on the hips on the mark, or...?
No, he's Siddle on the mark.
Siddle on the mark.
Yep.
He probably should have provided a better contest there as Beck kicks for goal. Didn't look great off the boot. Pushes it right. The first minor score, I think, fellas, yes, of the afternoon for the visitors.
Taking Drouin to 4-1-25 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Morwell 1-4-10.
Just a little bit of inexperience there from the Tigers as well. And they let Collins stay loose again. The kick comes his way. No player pushed up to him. He had an easy kick. And it was just, they should be making it a 2-on-1.
Well, Judalik will kick in. He spears the pass into Kennedy over his head, just ran underneath the footy. And we're going to boundary throw in. So do you go 1-on-1? Is that what you want? Drouin has still got a loose one. The Tigers have got the extra around this stoppage, which is occurring.
Well, Nick's dropped back, so he'll have to pick up now. He'll have to go 1-on-1 now.
So it is 1-on-1 at the moment. The ball will come back in. Again, this time Abbas got the front spot. That's what he needed to do. Working hard there, though, was Axford for Drouin, trying to win it. Leake got wrapped up in a tackle.
He's in a headlock. And the umpire just didn't see it.
McCallum's won 13 hit-outs, but Morwell have won the clearances 9-5, so that's an interesting one.
It is, and I think they have done very well in aspect. Again, Abbas got the hands on it. This is better from the Tigers' ruckman. But a quick snap around the body there from Bailey Beck goes high, out wide, and a strong mark, isn't it? It is. What a grab by James Ferguson with under enormous pressure from Big Metamucil. He was tight on him.
He was. He used his body really well. He turned him into it. He protected the ball really well. And a great chest mark with the ball moving away from him as well.
Well, this will be a big start for the Hawks for this first quarter, thanks to Monticello's. Woodstock 10 packs are only $28.99 at your local Monticello's outlet.
Oof.
As James Ferguson comes in. Drew have already got 4. He's on a slight angle, only 25 metres out, and he puts it across the face. And it's a minus score. On the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
Drouin 4-2-26, leading Morwell 1-4-10, coming up to the 21-minute mark of the first term.
Drouin probably owed Morwell a couple of easy misses like that, just to even up the ledger. Morwell bring the ball back into play. Abbas, front of the pack. A nice little tap down by the big man in McCulloch. And all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, Morwell through Hillier and then Suter. And now towards forward 50, have got the chance for kick for goal. In fact, they've got the chance to go over the top, and they do just that. And I tell you what, it's a free kick.
Yeah.
Surely, yes, it is indeed. I worried just a minute they may have gone one too many. Nick Wilson had to sit and wait, and he was taken high. The umpire right on the spot.
I've seen Nick kick. He might as well stay down. Tell him to stay down and just put the ball in the hands of Tyler.
Well, I
Hillier or
reckon
somebody.
the Drouin guy went back with a flight straight away. He's got a massive cut above his right eye.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised there was a bit of a head clash. And Nick Wilson has one of the hardest heads you'll ever see or feel.
Great kick in there by Hecker. I originally thought Hecker was looking for Nick Wilson coming inside 50. It was a great cut-off there by Zach Anderson.
So Dower is the one. Brendan Dower, the one that's come up with a bit of claret on his eye. This will be a tough one.
That's a pimple.
Wilson comes in. Right foot shot on goal. He's trying to work it back right to left, and he's got one. He's not just there as a decoy, as Boxers called him.
I never called him a decoy, but I tell you what, if he is, he's doing a great job at that because he's been in all the play this whole quarter when it comes inside 50 and rewarded there with a great goal.
And that brings the margin back to 10 points in Drouin's favour on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. The Hawks are 4-2-26, leading Morwell, who are 2-4-16, 22-minute mark first term.
So it looks as though William Collins, who doesn't look to have a whole lot of height about him, he's contesting the ruck for Drouin. He'll be up against Musil. So both first-choice ruckmen out of play at the moment. Ball bounced down. Musil, a nice tap. Can he clear it out through Rosado? He cannot. Rosado was brave. In fact, you'll find it was Hecker who's coming to the centre square as well. Can't find Rosado at the moment. He may have found his way to the bench. No, he's out there as well. Musil tapped down.
Oh, good
nicely
spot.
done. Stolen by Suter. Fed off nicely. They just couldn't quite clear. Suter has another go, but the little bull's been taken down by a couple of Hawks, and there'll be a bounce down just to the left of the centre circle, just a few metres favouring Drouin.
Now with Musil in the ruck, we've got Siddle on Ferguson now, so the changes are coming thick and thin.
Well, from that stoppage, it was Tommy Barber. He handballed straight to Tyler Hillier of the Tigers. His left foot kick over the top's nice and neat to Giath. He's got some space. Suter presented inboard. Now he presents again. Now he's got Hecker inboard, and it just went backwards, but it's okay. The Tigers have got 3. Noblet gave it across to Hecker. He chips it to this near side, which is the grandstand side at Morwell. McDonald into the path of Wilson. Can he get up and elevate? One hand, front and square again. Oh, Callum Hutchison again. His front and square work is very impressive early. The kick, though, was smothered, but we've got a boundary throw in. About 35 metres around from the Tigers' goal. Again, it's a short throw in. Abbas knocked it straight down. Comes to Rosado, puts it on the boot. Across the goals, and we'll have a boundary throw on the far side. 23 and a half minutes gone. 10-point margin to Drouin.
No McCulloch all of a sudden. Morwell getting busy around those stoppages. Nicely placed too it was, wasn't it, Boxer, by Callum Hutchinson?
It was fantastic. Looks like Morwell's made that change.
What did I call him?
I don't know. You just keep doing
McCulloch,
it.
did I? Oh, sorry, boys.
Yeah, that's okay. Jumbo's
Here we
not
go,
playing
the
anymore.
Tigers again, boys. Just from this stoppage, another kick was smothered. Playing a great game back there. Kick out towards the defensive 50, and he's followed up his kick as well, and then put a strong tackle on Zach Anderson. And Harry Wands has got a bit of toe. I like him at that last line as a defender for the Hawks.
So Maxie Linton's gone back now. He picks up McCullum, who's resting forward. And Abbas went forward. So
Well,
good moves here.
Nathan Guy from the stoppage, handball to no one in particular.
Ooh,
Now
gave it
Cost,
away.
yeah, the Tigers gave it away to Cost, and then they gave it back away. So they try and work back in there again. Cost has to try and butter up again to try and do some hard work. The ball bobbles around, and Rosado said, I've had enough of this. We'll tackle him nice and strong right on the top of the 50. It's an open forward line for the Tigers. It's a 25-minute mark of this first quarter. And the Hawks, Drouin that is, lead by 10 points. And a good little tap work there by William Collins to clear that area. Kennedy took on the tackler. Now ducking the head was Beck, and then got ran down in a tackle from Hillier. The umpire said, play on. Morris is there, kicks it to himself. Musa, the loose man for the Tigers, cuts across. But Eddie Morris is up for it and releases a handball across to Bailey Beck. He gave one to Robinson. He took on a tackle.
Luck.
He took, and the umpire said, play on. It was a great tackle by Rosado. Giath caught one high.
That's the payback.
And Giath just said, I don't care, I'm away.
boy.
Advantage. Handball in board to Hecker. He can handball over the top to Noblet, who just tapped it back or threw it back.
Volleyball.
It
That
was a volleyball throwback, and a free kick will go to Jordan Kingy.
Yeah, just a bit of panic there. I knew what he was trying to do. He's trying to just tap it down, but it looked as though he gained possession just for a split second, enough for the umpire to call it. Now Drouin turned defence into attack, and from left half back, they go to right half forward before they're beaten to the ball by the boundary.
That's that double hand action.
Yeah.
I think that just gives it away. He might have just touched it, but it looks like a throw.
Well, we've got a boundary throw in now on Drouin's attacking 50. 60 metres around. Anything major in the stats there, Paul Carter, for Gippsland Ozuzu?
As usual, Anthony Rosado, Coy Giath, both doing very well.
Kennedy from the stoppage won it. Gave it to Noblet, who put Scott under enormous pressure by hands.
Free kick.
He was lucky to get away with it.
He was.
And Scott wants the footy quickly. And he played on. Gave it to Rosado. He's kicked to open space. He
Boy,
said,
Shepherd. One go,
Yep.
one Shepherd. Come on.
Charles was the one that should have shepherded. Noblet took it. And, well, you're right. They were just a bit indecisive in that. Maybe the kick from Rosado was indecisive as well. He just over the top and just said, go and get it.
So Musil to do the ruck work against Collins, who's filling in for McCallum. Musil gives, and his teammate, no, he tried to play for the free kick. Could have been Hillier at the bottom of the pack. It was. Rosado holds two opponents down. In fact, he's got one of his teammates in Suda in a left-hand headlock. He had another Drouin play in a right-hand headlock. He had the ball in his mouth and he was trying to escape. Musil, a good tap. Giath, been busy, nicely done. Suda went looking for Rosado. Rosado from 55. Yes, sirree. A bass drop he should have taken. And then his kick was smothered when he had a couple of options. Now Rosado tries to save the day. He can't, but maybe Giath can. He gives it off. A goal surely for Morwell. No.
Oh, my
Touched
goodness.
on the last line of defence. Boys, you're killing me inside forward 50.
Lucky Dennis Todd hasn't got any hair, because he would have lost most of it in that passage of play in the last couple of minutes.
Cue the Benny Hill music, please.
Wow.
As Wands for Drouin kicked it in. It got over the back to Eddie Morris. He's looking for a runner. There was no one there. He still had time to stop and prop and kick it to big Bob McCullum. McCullum lopes around, left foot kick to a hot spot. Over the back it goes. It's Ferguson. They can raffle it. Working hard back there is Beck, who kicks it straight up and down.
No way.
Don't tell me.
No way.
If you don't mind, it's the best goal you'll ever see.
It's impossible.
It is impossible. Impossibles happen.
I'm a little bit speechless.
He was sprinting in the exact opposite direction to where the goals
This
were.
is Todd Beck, by the way.
I can't believe
The
it.
ball hung in the air. Daniel Siddles on the goal line thought he was going to have an easy chest mark, and the ball just kept going. One of those goals that Morwell are going to sit back and reflect and go,
Wow.
what got away?
Yep.
Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard in the shadows of quarter time, almost 29 minutes played, 5-2-32 the Hawks. Morwell, the exact opposite, 2-5-17.
So 7 scoring shots apiece, boys.
Unbelievable. The boys from Red Onion are here filming this game. For listeners out there, make sure you get in and have a look at that goal in the week. That was an absolute cracker. It defies logic on how that ball went in.
Yep.
So the 28-minute mark for what you're looking for in that first quarter.
Yep.
You line that up with one at about the 28-minute mark of the Bensdale-Traralgon game last week. And we've got a competition on our hands all of a sudden. Suda provides good competition. Handballs to Hillier. Hillier dances on the spot. Goes long. Out the back the ball goes. Morwell sort of just lost there. Picking up the ball, though, was Kennedy. Can he find a teammate? He can. They've been falling down.
Good vision.
Settle, boys, settle.
Experience.
Is the call.
That's what I was going to say. It was vision, and it was just a cool head.
Yeah, and Josh Scott was a recipient of that coolness and experience as he marked on a 45-degree angle 30 metres from goals. And to say that Morwell need this is an understatement in the dying seconds of this first quarter. Starts to walk it in. Sorry there, Scott. Starts to walk it in. Does Josh Scott. Gets close to the man on the mark, I tell you. And as a result, pulls it to the left. They've missed 4 easy of those 6 behinds they've got at the moment, Paul Carter.
2-6-18 Wall, and it's 5-2-32 Drouin.
Well, the composure from Joel Suter, and you can see why he's played 250 senior games of footy. And then, unfortunately, the letdown shot on goal is Drouin easily cleared out of the defensive half. Clayton King it was. Then his kick was smothered by McDonald. Now Jordan says, right, I'll give it back to you, Clayton. Now fix this one up. Brothers, he did well. Got it over the top now and found Robertson Edgar, who can chip it over the top. But it is a quarter time. And it's been one of taking your chances as they come. And the Drouin Hawks did exactly
Back hard this term.
Absolutely. Boxer has raced up the stairs. We're going to let him get your breath, Boxer. You need to put your mic on as well, mate.
Yeah, no, I was that tired I couldn't put it on.
We'll give you a moment. We're going to find out what happened at quarter time in both the huddles. As Musa will do the ruck duties up against McCallum. And this time McCallum tapped it straight down. Working out in there was Beck Musil. Follow-up work was good. Handball off the back of the line there was Noblet. Kicks to an open half-forward line.
Good.
It is Anderson leading the chase. Hillier gave support. Now he tried a big don't argue, and it's come off. And then Hillier drills it to Giath. And then Abbas picked his pocket, left it behind. Beck was back there for Drouin. Brereton tried to stand up in a Nathan Guy tackle. And we'll have a stoppage inside forward 50.
Yeah, the Morwell coaches actually quite pleased with the quarter. Considering the fact that some of their matchups didn't go the way they wanted to, they just refined things. But the big surprise is there is a breeze pushing down to this end of the ground.
Oh, really? I could have sworn a commentator said that 3 times and he was denied every single time. Anyway, Morwell into attack inside forward 50. They'll be beaten to the ball by the boundary. I've got to say, too, that I like the way Morwell then kicked to space as they came through the centre.
Yep.
I thought they were kicking to contests sometimes under pressure, but kicking to space and letting their runners run onto it.
What's their strength?
That's it. Plenty of run inside forward 50. They just need to find the goal.
And that's the style that he wants. Dennis just wants that run and carry style of play. He does want Abbas to play forward. Musa will stick with McCullum. And I think he really will try and stretch Drouin's back line with those 2 bigs down there.
Here we go again. Suter out of the pack. Can he find a teammate? He kicks to the top of the square. 2-on-1 is the contest. Providing a nice contest was the big man in Wilson. Giath lends a hand to try to keep it inside forward 50, but it was Liam Anderson who provided a nice little effort there for the visiting Hawks. And the ball will be thrown back in just metres from Morwell goals. And recalling that score, it's Morwell 2 goals 6 and Drouin 5 goals 2, 1 3/4 minutes, second quarter.
McCullum tapped it back, but to a dangerous spot. Beck was there. That was Todd. And he got wrapped up in a quick tackle and now rolls out of it. Working harder down there was Nathan Guy for Drouin. Again, Abbas got early and then tapped it out over the top. Wayne Morris was down there. Jess on his own, about 30 metres out. Handballs over the top. This is Charles. Right foot snap on goal. It's working from right to left. Doesn't come back far enough. And a minor score to open proceedings on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard in the second quarter.
Moore 2-7-19. Drouin 5-2-32.
So to bring the ball back into play will be Todd Beck. Now, is this the same Todd Beck that kicked the miraculous goal, who's now bringing the ball in from full back? It is.
He's a star.
There he is. So Todd Beck. I noticed just late in that first quarter they were taking on the big man Wilson when he was 1-on-1 in that forward 50 because he's not the most mobile, although he's providing a good contest and he's done it again. They've played on quickly, gone towards the outer side. The kick wasn't great. Musil rove for the big man and he did it quite well, but under pressure he couldn't find his teammate in Hillier. And the ball he thrown back in. It's the right half forward flank. Morwell kicking to the clubhouse end here at Morwell Recreation Reserve.
Musil puts his hand up to take the ruck duties along with McCallum, who double fists it straight down. Working hard at ground level there was Hecker, so was Musil. Trying to stand up in the tackle there was Axford, and he got spun around The ball bobbles around. Suitors at ground level as well. That was Barr that got a sweeping handball out, and they gave it to Morris. He took on one and then got the handball away. Play on, said the umpire. The football's at half forward for the Hawks. The Tigers are under pressure, and they did well. Rosado on the end of this one kicks it back towards his half forward line.
Good body.
Anderson was the one. Delivers inside 50 on top of Wilson's head. And reading it better was Liam Anderson, who can mark and play on quickly and get it out the run. And this is Beck, who has it on the wing. He looks for his teammate, and that's his brother in Bailey. He stops, props, gets back onto that favoured right foot, lowers the eyes, and just at his toes, William Collins takes the mark 60 metres out from their goal. Tigers have got some numbers back. Collins goes towards the top of the 50. Robinson's a target. Siddle spoiled. The Tigers have got numbers at ground level. Where's the run and the wave? He took on the tackler. Gave it across now to Brereton, who slams it inside forward 50 again.
Great
Wilson
kick.
On his chest. He's got the free kick.
Play
being
on,
held.
play on.
The advantage has been played. Great call, Poppy. And Zach Anderson will dribble it into the Willerton Transport Group sign and get the first goal for the Tigers at the 4-minute mark.
Fantastic play there. The rebound footy from Moore was fantastic. Transition from Giath. The quick movement inside. That first kick from Zach Anderson earlier in the piece wasn't the right kick to Wilson. The kick inside then from Brereton was perfect. Plenty of air. Ball hits the deck. Zach Anderson runs on, kicks a great goal.
Yeah, plenty of good run, and I like the way they're taking the Hawks on rather than panicking and kicking in hope. They're running the ball nicely, Paul Carter.
That goal has come at the 4-minute mark for Morwell and reduced Drouin's advantage to 7 points on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard. Drouin 5-2-32, Morwell 3-7-25.
Poppy, you tipped the Tigers on the back of their run from half back, and that was shown there.
Let's see if they can do it again, because they're at half-back right now, and the player with the ball is Charles. Kicks towards the outer side, looking for space. Found the boundary line, but it was on the wrong side of the boundary line, so there'll be a free kick to the Hawks, standing the mark. I reckon it could be Hillier, and the Hawks go along courtesy of a nice kick from Joe Collins towards left half forward flank. Stopped in its tracks at that stage. The Hawks through Giath. He's been busy. Like the way he's moving. That time got caught under pressure. And the Hawks with numbers. A nice little tap over the top. They could make something out of nothing. The problem is you have to get around Rosado. And Rosado says, no deal.
Wow. Never get away from that guy.
He took him down. He just about ripped his arm out like you would a chicken. And it was a beautiful tackle by Rosado. I don't reckon he's missed one today. That kick in short is dangerous. Oh my goodness. You give a guy a rap and he goes boom.
Poppy.
He couldn't have picked out Tom Barr any better if he tried.
No, there was three Tigers there, and it just nailed Tom Barr, who attacked the football all the same. The Tigers were just sort of waiting a little bit, but yeah, Tommy Barr was up to it, and this could really hurt them. A big moment for Monticellas as he comes in, and left foot kick. He tries to get it working back. There is no doubt about that, and that is costly. That hurts.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here dumbfounded a little bit there. I was just about to give him a rap in regards to his double play where Rosado was in the first set of play, ball goes inside 50, gets the great tackle. He did the right thing. He was trying to find the corridor, get the game going again, but it was just that one-step kick, one mistake. Look, he's just got to reset now and win the ball back now and get the ball inside 50 for more.
Just like the first quarter, Drouin one inside 51 goal. They are 6-2-38 on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard. Morwell 3-7.
Wouldn't want to be in Rosado's way when he attacks this ball, let me tell you. His steam is still coming from his ears. And he's going to hit it like a bull, I'd reckon. Musil, he tried to reel it in one hand. Musil, a quick handball towards centre half forward. Can he find his teammate in Hecker? He can't. There's a bunch of players around from both sides. Try half a dozen. The boundary umpire will assert his control and bounce down around about centre half forward.
Around the ground.
Let's go in the AFL. It's half time and it's 6-5 and they lead Dockers 4-4. 28. Gatha. Sales. Gatha 1-1. Against Sales 6-3-39.
Word out of that game is the pace is
incredible. I think
Gatha.
I picked Sale too. Mafra 2-1. They lead. They actually trail Murray 2-2. So we've got a tight one there. One Thaggy 2 straight to Bairnsdale 1-3, and we don't up here.
Eddie Morris across half back, got it to his half forward line. Ferguson sold some candy, handballed over the top there to Koss. He goes backwards to Ferguson again. Now he's in big kick towards the top of the square. It goes. Push out. Beck. No, he got away with it. Then tried to sock it off the ground. Salter kicked it off the ground as well. And then Beck somehow kicked it, but it went backwards. And it might come off because Tommy Barr, hard up on the boundary line, goes across the face and out of bounds on the full.
It come off a player's shin.
Yeah.
And it nearly worked out for him as well.
Was that how it ricocheted backwards?
Ricocheted. Yep.
So Schneider with the ball, deep in defence of the point post to his right hand. He could reach out and touch it. He kicks to left half forward flank.
Great mark.
Nicely timed mark by Joe Collins, wearing 24. And he'll kick from right half forward, top of the square within 25 metres of goals. It appears to be Morwell. Yeah,
Lovely.
it is. Nice mark in the end. The Tigers through Noblet. Takes the easiest of marks, really, and kicks to the advantage of a player who's been busy in Hecker. And he fights hard, but he's beaten by the boundary again at right half-back.
He's a very skillful player, Noblet, isn't he? He just hit that right foot. He's a natural left footer, and he made the right foot look better than but any other right footer out there.
Just trying to find his preferred position on the ground is Noblet. The tap goes over the back. Drouin tried to run onto it there through Axford, who overran it, and then had to go back and get his own footy. Salter was there as well with Zach Anderson on the bottom of the pack.
There was a dangerous sign there, though, as McCallum got that tap down. There was no one out the back for the Tigers, and Paul Carter made the point. For a bloke that's winning most of the ruck, the clearances have been won by Morwell. So they've got to keep those centre clearances in their favour to keep in touch with Drouin. Just at the moment, the ball's still right half-back flank for the Tigers. Fighting hard to keep it in and doing a nice job was Tommy Cale. As the boundary umpire comes in again. Another bounce down.
One thing about Dennis Knight, he really kept the process he wanted delivered simple, you know, and his message is quite simple and quite, you actually do listen to the bloke. You just sit there and you listen.
Rosado from the stoppage got legged. The umpire said play, and then a strong tackle by Zach Anderson. And we'll have a ball up.
I don't think there's any contact with the ball then. That should have been nearly holding the ball.
Yeah, I thought he got tripped, no? Did he look at something different?
No, I thought he was tackled.
Well, again, Musil and McCallum. McCallum tapped it down beautifully, rode there by Morris. Drove it inside forward 50. Top of the square. It's a dangerous spot. Siddle overran it and tried to sock it off the ground. I think he has done it. It is Jacob Simpson. And the ball game. This can be AFL. The football bounced left away from Siddle and all of a sudden took a right-hander right in front of Jacob Simpson.
Instead of running straight at the ball, he sort of stopped and the ball did bounce away from him. He did have a massive swing at it, but he had two Drouin players right behind him that said, thank you very much.
19-point lead to Drouin at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. The Green of Gippsland scoreboard reads Drouin 7-2-44, Morwell 3-7-25.
So Abbas back into the centre to do the ruck work against McCallum. Abbas gets the tap, does it nicely too in the end. Finds a teammate. That teammate's taken ball and all. And there'll be a bounce down again. So this is where McCallum can sometimes get the advantage if he can feel a body of Abbas rather than getting Abbas to jump at it. Abbas does jump at it and he gets the tap down. Nicely done to Anderson. A quick kick threatens a half-forward flank, the right half-forward flank. His pace of McDonald, his first player there, but beaten to it. And a Drouin left foot kick clears the area momentarily. Coming through to lend a hand is Joel Suter. He's taken ball and all. Nicely done by Charles. Moore just can't find some room to move at the moment. Just in the last few minutes, the pressure from Drouin's lifted. And I reckon the umpire will take control in just a moment unless it spills down. The umpire does what I thought he might and take the ball for another throw up. Left half forward flank. Drouin kicking to the right of Radio and, as you heard Paul Carter say, leading by 19 points.
Abbas got high again, got his hand on it. No one really sort of cleared the area.
Starting to get his timing better, Abbas.
And that's I think that's the go. He needs to run and jump. McCallum likes to clear the area. He's not really a run and jumper. And we have a bit of blood rule. I think it's on the far side. And it looks to be... Is that Hillier coming off? I don't think it is Hillier, actually.
It's Drouin.
We've got two.
A Tiger one. I think
Tiger holding the nose.
Yep. It's a bit hard to see. There's a fair bit of blood coming out. And it might even be one of the youngsters. We'll get to that one in a moment. As
quite an interesting scoreline at the moment, boys. I remember the scores coming over from Lee and Gather Drouin game last week, and Drouin was 7-3. I think the 3-7. I think it was a thing like that. We'll find Drouin in the same spot at the moment. Be interesting to see if they can go on with it this week.
So young Colby Kennedy is the one, and Drouin made the change at the same time as well. So the umpires are all happy. And again, Abbas, as we were saying a bit earlier, gets the run and jump. McCallum got a hand down. Quick kick by Robinson. Goes inside forward 50. Out in front there of Morris. Turns around on a dime and then got ran down from behind. And that's sticking to your task very well. As Daniel Snyder, the experience of Morris, Snyder didn't let him get away too far. He got called to play on. He chipped the kick over the top. Anderson, 2 bites was good enough. Handball back to Snyder, who ran on. Got to his defensive 50, and a beautiful kick to Suter in the middle of the ground. Gave it to Abbas, and the big fella can take off and run. He kicks it open space, back with the fly to the ball. Mutual couldn't quite get there, was able to gather it. He's looking for a teammate. He's been wrapped up in a tackle from Anderson. The umpire said holding the ball. And Liam Anderson quickly plays on. Got it out to a teammate who kicked it out wide and found Tommy Barr.
So their chances are coming, albeit not as many as Drouin, but they're still not making the most of the rare chances they're getting. The bloke with the ball at the moment is Chrissy Robinson from the left half-back flank. Looks up. Gee, there's a bit of traffic up forward, so he goes short. Got a couple of short options. Good option. Jordan King plays on quickly. Nice movement. Kicks to within. Beck goes searching for his third. Can't quite find a teammate. Anderson cut it off. Nicely done. He, in turn, found Leak, and Leak kicks long, but beaten by height was Suter, and the ball punched over the boundary line. Drawn into attack, left half forward flank.
Around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture.
I'll just go to the match of the day in North Gippsland. It's Yarram's taking on Hayfield. It's Yarram 8-7-55. They lead Hayfield 3-3-21.
Ball about to come back into play. Half forward flank there for Drouin. Heading it hard there was Jordan King. Hillier did well. Works hard again, does Hillier. Got the football. And Giath was the one put a tackle on. Giath, the defensive 50 for the Tigers. Looks to come in board. He wants to come in board. He wants to take that risk. He's still looking. Now goes there, and the risk is going to come off because Hecker marked it. He just got held up.
Been busy.
Gippsland Ozuzu Ute this afternoon. Hecker, that's a shocking kick though. He put it straight down Bob McCullum's throat at half back. He chips it over the top. Found Morris. He can turn and go. Morris will look for the run and draw handball. Now he does over the top to Kingy. Kingy just put it towards the boundary line. And the coach said, let's reassess, get some numbers. And at the 60 metres out from Drouin's goal, we're going to boundary throw in. And the Hawks lead it by 19 points. It is round 7. The Darrington Gippsland League right across Gippsland and the Valley. Great to have your company. Here's Rob Popplestone.
Collins front of the pack, beat Abbas to the ball. Abbas, the ruckman, does the work of a rover. Swung as he kicked. Rosado came in to lend a hand, and Morwell. Can they find a way through? They can. They just need some more space to move, and they've got it. Musa will be the target, or will it? No. Come more grandstand side. We're providing a good option was Kennedy. His kick to space can now find a teammate, or can it? No. Just not quite right, unfortunately. And again, another thrust forward is put out, and Drouin ease the pressure and go long. Nicely punched forward by Siddle. Good tackle in play was by Morwell. I didn't pick the player, but it was a good tackle. Noblet all the same. And also providing good pressure was Patrick Charles, who applied a tackle on James Ferguson.
Just one of those things where the Tigers there, the thought is right, just the execution.
Well, boundary thrown again. This time Musil tapped it down. Giath was there, got his hand free, got a handball out. Hillier, ground level, gave it to Musil, who gave it to Charles. Now to Scott. On to Knox. Left foot kick down the line, hugs it. It's 1-on-2. It's a good kick in the end. And that was over for a boundary throw-in just inside the field of play, right in front of the canteen.
Geez, he's impressive, Zach Anderson. 3 or 4 years ago, he was a really good back pocket player. Now he's a real swing man and just playing really well.
He's had 11 touches so far for Gippsland Ozuzu. Scott has to work hard. So did McDonald. Handballed over the top to Giath. Took on the tackler of Morris and got absolutely dumped. And he's still down, and now Suter takes on the tackler. Got a handball away, though. They crunch into Giath again. And a little bit overzealous. as Simpson gave away the free kick as GS squares it up.
Again.
And again, it could be a costly turnover. Abbas comes in, sockers it off the ground. Anderson gave it back to the running Abbas, who puts it on its way. It's a wobbler, and it is out of bounds on the full. And it's just about gone out the gate here at Travis Street in Morwell.
Well, you know where Beck can kick one out of his front bum, Abbas couldn't kick one from straight in front. And they're the differences. They're the 1%ers that make a big difference at the end of the day. So, all of a sudden, the Tigers, another burst inside forward 50. Not sure how they're looking this second quarter, Paul Carter, but they seem to be matching it.
I'm just going to say Koi G at 16 disposals so far.
Well, yeah, nicely done. He might get another one here. He's got the sit.
He has.
And gets the hands on the ball. Can he keep the ball in play?
Yes, he
can. Can he get a possession? Yes, sirree. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Takes it, finds Musil. Musil goes short. Nicely done. One. And pull in and take them late. Could it be a 50? Hillier takes them up.
Wow, McCullum was very lucky then. Very lucky.
Hillier swings around, right foot kick, hot spot it is. Wilson's a target, causes the contest, spills out the back, handball there from Drouin, and it went straight over the boundary line.
Well, there's two things today. The umpires are a little bit slow on their decision-making with some free kicks, and they've been, very questionable. And that one then, that forearm then was an absolute pearl. It could have been a stat there for McCullum. And the other one is the handball of Morwell. They're just hitting flat-footed players, and it's just costing them a little at the moment.
Well, they desperately need to find the major score right here. They can't let Drouin get too far further in head. They trail by some 19 points at the moment. That margin hasn't changed for quite a period of time. We're now at the 20-minute mark, second quarter, and they get a chance right here.
Hillier from that stoppage, handballed out towards Scott, close to the boundary line. Boys, we just had a number change. Of course, Brendan Dower came off with that blood rule. He had blood all over his number 38 jumper, so he's now wearing the 36 for those that are playing at the ground here. 20 minutes have gone, 19-point margin on your Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. In this second quarter, as the ball will come back into play, Abbas nearly tried to take it out of the ruck duties. There's Dower, put a tackle on his opponent.
Rosado says hello.
Just dumped him. However, Drouin had the numbers, and Kingy was the one who won it and kicked it out towards the boundary line on the far side at the rec reserve in Morwell. And we'll see a boundary throw in on the wing.
I reckon turning around in a pack like that and seeing Rosado coming for you would be like standing on Princess Highway and turning around and seeing a semi-trailer coming right at you.
You can't get out of the way.
Yeah, she's pretty scary. Ball thrown back in play, out the back of the pack. Rosado, the player we spoke of, handball, can't find a teammate. Morwell, no, dispossessed. The kick's within centre half forward of Drouin. They've got a bit of room to move. Come grandstand side. Morris has got all the time in the world. He might even draw and dodge. No, he kicks long. The kick just offline. Will it fall to the advantage of Beck, who's kicked two, draws a couple of Morwell players. They might just overpossess here. So Beck has another one, and he kicked it skinny and threw for a blind for Drouin, Paul Carter.
20-point lead to Drouin at the 21-minute mark of the second quarter. Forward has them on 7-3-45. Morwell 3-7-25.
Noblet played on and then kicked it over the top. The only one there was Robertson Edgar for Drouin, but he muffed the mark and allowed Hecker and McCallum to go at it, and it went over for a boundary throw-in in the end. So lucky result there for the Tigers.
And McCallum just let Rosado know he was around.
It wasn't Rosado. No, it's Hecker.
Was it Hecker? Was it? Okay.
There's a little bit of sledging, a little bit of talk. It's David and Goliath.
Big moments for Monticello's this afternoon. The Tigers need one before half-time. Tommy Barr from this stoppage, burns away from Kennedy, and neat little kick, but it just allowed Rosado to come in to Kennedy, back to Rosado, quick chain of hands, and Hecker ends up on the end of it, puts it to the half forward. He has Abbas, he takes it, runs away, he gives it to his teammate in Giath. He's goes left, right, back to the left, lost the footy, picked it up, gave it to Abbas, has a flying shot at goal, and Isaac Abbas misses.
My goodness gravy.
Well, the big moment of the game came. The two boys from South Sudan were dancing around their opponents, and in the end couldn't quite get it done.
I mean, that even had that had a cherry on it, that one.
Yep.
Morwell 3-8-26, Drouin 7-3-45, 22.5 minutes played.
And you can keep that music playing because the kick in from full back from Wans, well, it was only a 25-metre kick, but it missed him and went out of bounds on the full.
He'll kick this goal. You know why? Because he shouldn't kick it.
Scott, no, he didn't even try. He goes to Hecker, missed him over the top. Ducking the shoulder was Guy, and he'll win the free kick.
Yeah, fair enough. Rosado got him a bit high, didn't he?
Yep.
Bit eager.
Nathan Guy switches it up. Out there towards Dower, who's an awkward sort of kick, but gets it long and wide. Kennedy's got some help out there with Rosado, who wins it now. On the boot, top of the 50, Suter. McCullum just kicked it off the ground. Suter put a hand up. Hillier is there as well. His centre of gravity is low. He picked it up to Anderson. Tried to squeeze a handball out to Suter. He does well. That was Snyder out there as well. Then lost the football. Now the Hawks could be away. Beck gave it to Robertson, who checked the kick and beautifully to Morris.
Wow.
In stride. Morris had to stop because Leake came up to put a little bit of man on the mark. He does, and he goes short. We could see it. To Tony Barr. He wants to play on quickly. Left foot kick. Collins. He slams it home. The Tigers ask for a touch. The umpire said, I'm not having any of it. And Williams gets the goal for the Hawks. Worrying signs.
Yeah, that was just a bit of a rebound footy. They picked their mark really well, Drouin. I think if a coach had to pick their 4 games for a player bake during the year, I reckon Dennis Knight might be ready to give these guys a bit of a touch up at half time. He'd be pretty disappointed with what's been unravelling here in that second quarter.
Now a match high lead of 25 points to Drouin. They are 8-3-51 at the 24-minute mark of this second quarter, and Moore are 3-8-26, and this is on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, I haven't given up on Moore yet. I reckon there's still a bit out there. They just need to string 2 together, maybe 3, and we've got a game in our hands again.
What's the inside 50s, Paul?
This quarter, 8 apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't taken their chances, and hey, you're right with kicking the 2 in a row. They haven't done that all game. I mean, they've only got the 3 goals, but they just need a couple in a row.
So Musil contest, nicely done by McCallum. He found a teammate, couldn't quite get it through, but clever play finds Chris Robinson on the end of it. A kick to within 20 metres of goals. This could be a disaster if they get another one back to back. A quick tap off the boot, I reckon was touched. It was. Good call, Boxer. And bringing the ball back into play for Morwell will be Joda Leak.
He plays on, gains himself 5 metres, kicks it high. It's a hoping kick. Tommy Barr's got the perfect. Noblet spoiled. Barr kept his feet and did well. 2 don't argue. That's holding the ball every day. Noblet did very well for the Tigers. It was a bit of a nothing sort of kick, wasn't it, coming out of the back half? Noblet chips it. That's a nothing kick too. Luckily, he got over the top of Kennedy and Jackson Koss. And we'll have the boundary throw in right in front of the grandstand here at Morwell. The sun's out. It's not raining. It's a good thing. It is still a little bit fresh. 25 minutes in this second quarter. Drouin have kicked 3 goals to 1. Boundary throw-ins have been a talking point this afternoon. Handballs. Giath gave it to Suter over the top to McDonald. He's got some space. It's a wobbly kick. Good work by Guy to stop it, then tackled by McDonald. And working out there was Robertson Edgar. Gave it backwards to a teammate in Clayton Kingy. Wheels around, spears the pass to Jackson Koss. And founding in front of Noblet, who can chip it over the top to Ferguson. And Siddle spoiled and found the boundary.
Just those handballs that are letting them down.
Yeah, and you'd back Suter to hit a man with no pressure with a handball, albeit it was 10 or 15 metres. But
I know Colby Kennedy's only 4 foot nothing, but you still got to hit your handballs.
Yeah, you're right. So they're 70 metres from home, are the Hawks. And they'll throw that back in.
Sorry, Cody McDonald. I did a poppy. I just did a pop.
I wasn't going to make mention of that. I mean, I don't want to highlight your mistakes like you do mine. Left half forward flank. Drouin into attack again. They've got that margin up their sleeve. They've doubled Morwell's score. They lead by 26. Morwell on 26. And they try to extend that lead. Nice mark. It was taken by Max Linton. From grandstand side, I'm not sure that going to the smallest man in the field's the option.
Wow.
But guess what? He takes a mark. Suter, as a consequence of that nice mark, went looking for a bass. He's just failed to take the ball cleanly in a few times today. He stands over the ball and does quite a good job. But guess what? The bloke that took the mark butted up beautifully. Kobe McDonald. They need a goal desperately. They'll get a chance right here because the first player there is going to be Tyler Hillier. A quick kick for goal. Offline again. Another behind, Paul Carter.
3-9-27 the Maul score up against Drouin, who are 8-4-52. Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, almost 28 minutes played.
These are becoming worrying signs. Shots on goals now. And big moments for Monticello's. Carlsberg, 6-pack, $10. As the short kick found Wans, whose kick will be a turnover. Bass went to ground. Good work by Tommy Barr. Won it then. Got tackled by Hecker. Gave the handball away. Handball out the back there was from Johnny.
Rosado, you beauty!
Another strong tackle caused the turnover.
Free kick, Rosado.
Yep.
3 beautiful tackles in a row.
I tell you what, you're becoming a fan favourite of Poppy's.
I love him.
Rosado runs around, top of the 50. Hot spot over the back. Hillier's there.
Yep.
Read it nicely. And a good kick by Rosado. Hillier, you have to kick this one. It's a must goal for the Tigers late in the second quarter. 28 and a half minutes gone. You trail by 25 points. You've got to get this back to 19 points before the halftime break. There's Hillier. There's no pressure. However, there's immense pressure on him. He comes in. He stabs at it, but he likes it. He puts the one hand up. The one hand finger salute, and it's through the middle.
You hit the nail on the head there. That to bring it back to 19 points is what they really needed, and all those errors they've made inside 50 has finally been rewarded with a goal. Right now, 28-minute mark is going to be pretty difficult, but if they can get another one on the pop, then they win with a chance coming into half-time.
And we've got Drouin on 8-4-52 on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, leading by 19 points from Morwell, who are 4-9-33 and 29 and a half minutes played.
Rosado gave one up earlier this quarter. He needed to earn one back, and he did it there. Good work and a free kick against Drouin before the ball's bounced to Musil.
Goes out wide to Suter. There must be long to go in this second quarter. Suter waiting for someone to present. They're all running backwards. Musil's there. He decides to go high and long. Abbas is the target. Jumps over the back. Hillier's there again. He's going to lead the chase in front of his opponent in Collins. We'll get a boundary throw in. Boxy, you're throwing around your arms.
Yeah, he was just a bit slow with that kick. You know, he hesitated, and then we got the up and under kick, and it was a real nothing kick in the end.
30 minutes have just ticked over. Can they get one closing on the last in this second quarter? Brereton handballs over the top to Hecker. Snap around the body. Hecker has put it through. And that's what you want for the first time in this game. The Tigers have got 2 in a row. And it is game on going into halftime now. Josh Hecker.
Now it is. And the smalls are the danger. You know, the dangerous small forwards have finally come to the party. First Hillier, now Hecker, and a great snap goal from a difficult pocket. Morwell's back in this game now.
Morwell have won the quarter by a point. They started 14 down. They're now 13 down at the 30-minute mark. 5-9-39 to Drouin 8-4-52.
So it'll be Musil to contest against McCallum. I tell you what, a free kick called, wasn't I? Thought I heard a whistle. Play on was the call. A quick kick come grandstand side. Falls in the arms, and a good mark in the end by, is that Noblet? Yep. It is Noblet. I haven't got him in my sheet, surprisingly enough.
No, he's changed number 29. We did say that at the start of the game.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Mustn't have been paying attention again. I think that was Caulfield Race 3. Abbas, left half forward flank, kick at the top of the square. Could they get another one? They could. They will. A kick around the body. They have. Beautiful play by the Tigers. They couldn't have kicked 3 goals in the first 40 minutes. Now they've kicked 3 goals in 5. Patrick Charles, take a bow.
When we spoke, it was a 28-minute mark, and we said if they can get one more before half-time, it'll be game on. They've got 2. Well done. Another small forward get. Great snap there by Charles. Great goal.
It's actually 3 goals in 3 minutes, which is the 29-31, and it's brought the margin back to 7 points.
And right on, and that was kicked with 1 second left to go.
Wow.
And as we said, 3 goals in 3 minutes to set this game alight. We've got a cracker on our hands. It's a 7-point margin at half-time. Drouin are 8-4-52. They'll be bleeding about that last 3 minutes of play. The Tigers are coming 6-9-45. This is Gippsland Live, and it's all for Harvey Norman Electrical. Fantastic prices, incredible range. Rush in to your local Harvey Norman store today.
The freshest way to start the day. Gabby and Dan, the TR Morning Crew.
Evolutionary biologists have theorised that tattoos are a way of signalling how tough we are because of tribal tattoos and going back a long, long way. Well, the guy that I'm seeing is about 50% covered.
50%?
About 50%.
I've never met old
Dad's
mate.
going to have a heart attack. But this is fantastic. I love this sentence. So tattoos may be the human equivalent to a peacock's showy tail.
Really?
I love that because peacocks flare, the male peacocks flare their tail
I know what peacocks
to attract
do,
a female.
Yeah.
Is that what Shrove has done to me? I'm joking. Why are you gone silent?
Nothing,
Can you stop
nothing.
going silent on
So
this show?
can we just call him the peacock now? Or
Weekday mornings when you wake up on TRFM.
50 months interest free. No deposit, no interest with 50 equal monthly payments until July 2023. Harvey Norman massive half-yearly clearance. Furniture, beds.
Well, Dan Musil will start doing the ruck work. I think he's probably been a little bit more influential than what Isaac Abbas has, but they've both sort of worked hard. But I think Musil has been working a little bit better, I'd say, Paul. So he'll take the ruck duties up against Big Bob. Rosado's in there for the Tigers, same with Hecker, and Musil gets that tap down. Giath was there, but Morris did well. Handled out the back there, nicely done towards Wans. His kick high to centre half forward. Siddle had to spoil it. And Rosado at ground level tried to come in and win it. So did Giath at ground level now on all fours. He handled it out to Rosado, who got quickly tackled by 3. Yeah, William Collins looks to be the one that's going to run with Rosado now. So as just how he runs away from Rosado. So good little work there. Over to you, Poppy.
Yeah, well done, Scott.
See if we can clear the area here, centre half forward, as we see Drouin into attack. Kicking to the favourite end today. I think just looking at my score sheet here, there's been 9 goals scored to the left of radio, or the clubhouse end, and only 5 to the highway end. I'll check that in just a moment. So this is a favourite end at this stage at half-time. Made the mention that we might see a bit of Morwell in the second half. A quick kick forward by McCallum to within 20. Siddle, 1, 2, 3 grabs.
Yeah,
nicely
it was
done.
a free kick earlier than that to Max Linton, was pushed out.
Okay, and Max Linton will come back and take that free kick, as you heard the expert comments from Boxer, right on the ball, as he is for most of the time. They come grandstand side to Tommy Cale. He's got a short option, but it's a bit too skinny, so he'll kick long along the line. Bass is the man that wants to jump, and he read it beautifully. McCallum tried to take him out of the contest. He couldn't feel his body, so he gives it now to Abbas. Suda, this is risky. He found a teammate, the centre of the Morwell Recreation Reserve. And is that Anderson or
Schneider?
It's Schneider. I'm sorry you said that. Schneider goes to left half forward flank. Well, geez, they're backing themselves in with skills. They go inboard, as Musil does, and he takes and gives. Does his teammate in Cale, back to Musil, goes short. It had to come undone at some stage, didn't it? They went searching for Hillier, but cut off at the right half line.
Supportive of Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump.
As Morris has it, defensive 50, goes back inside his 50 to the big fella in McCallum, who can square it high and wide. Well, he set Robinson a touch, but Abbas didn't read it well enough. And Robinson took the mark right in front of Drouin's coach's box. He had one short, decided to kick it long down the line. Over the back was Siddle with a big spoil. They crashed down. Head over there was Ferguson.
That mark there by McCallum inside 50, that's just a little bit of inexperience from Nick Wilson. He should have just pushed up and given him that contest just so we can get a 2-on-1, get the ball to ground if we can.
No score. Couple of minutes into this third quarter. Front spot was a Metamucil at ground level. Kick off the ground from Robinson. Gains Drouin some meterage. Ferguson handballed back to Robinson, who ran on and then gave it up. Kicked it straight down Maxie Linton's throat, who can switch it out.
Great
get
hit.
to the far side. Tommy Cale's there, but no one has presented on the far wing for Cale, so I wouldn't be surprised if they switch this back as Cale waits. His troops finally get over there. It's a wobbler kick. Tommy Barr at his toes, just dropped it. Snyder did well to Brereton, back to Snyder. Nice kick to Anderson. They've got some run. Rosado through the middle, sweeping handball out wide to McDonald. Went through his legs. He's got some support. Chips it over the top. Poor kick. Turnover, Clayton Kingy again. And it's not so much that Clayton Kingy's reading it. They're just kicking it straight down his throat.
They've done it for most of the day, haven't they? This time they take a chance. Nicely done. Providing good contest was Hecker. He tries to keep the ball inside his forward 50.
He's done well again.
And he's done it again. Couldn't quite keep it in play. But first effort was good. His second effort was equal to that. And it's just 5 metres from Morwell's goals. They're trailing by 7 points. Opening minutes, third quarter. Is that a blunt ball? Acknowledging each other as we see a change, and the young fella Callum Hutchinson, who kicked a beauty in the first quarter, comes back on.
So over the back of Gales, Wilson was there. There's a free kick going towards Wilson, is it? Against McCallum. Well, who would have thought? Big Bob McCallum, who's been a Vic Country representative ruckman. Nick Wilson comes in. He would have only played a handful of senior games. He wins himself the free kick from the stoppage inside forward 50. And a big moment for the youngster from Morwell. Nick Wilson, he's already got one. He'll kick this. He's not the most fluid of kick of the ball, but from 40 metres out, puts it on its way.
Wow.
And that misses everything, or does it? Abbas nearly marked it 15 metres around from the point post.
Well, he did the work Abbas to get there, and I guess he's managed to get his hand for a boundary throw-in rather than out of play on the full. The big fella, he did well there, the only player on the ground I can see with long sleeves on. I'm sure it's not to hold his bulging muscles.
Good tap.
Anyway, we'll see how we go. Drouin now, take the bounce out of defensive 50.
Morris was the one, cleared it out wide, out to the far side. Ferguson presented well. He goes quickly onto his right foot in the direction of Beck. Musil will go back. Beck will fly. Musil in the front spot. Takes the mark in defence. Pushes back. 5 minutes have gone. Still no score in this third quarter. Gave it to Siddle.
Risky.
Across the ground. It doesn't have depth on the kick, but Robinson missed it. And now he is able to pick it up. Gave a handball across now to Beck. This is Bailey. Left foot high to the top of the square. Tigers got the numbers. Over the back it goes. Siddle under pressure. Lost the football. Got the football. Handballed it out to Linton, who wants the boundary and finds it. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
This game is one between your ears, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think just Morwell will be just sitting there going, what are we doing? Just their thought process coming out. They just need to settle a little bit more and just weigh up their options.
Yeah, thoughts are good, execution poor. Rosado has the ball. Can he find a teammate? He searches. Yeah, on the end of it now. Moore got a few runners. Can they bust through defensive 50? They're in a spot of bother. Drouin cause another turnover. Now it bounces back. Suter just needs to find a winner here. They're outnumbered 3-1. Abbas was the target.
Clayton
But
Kingy.
it was all too easy for Clayton Kingy, who just picked up another touch. He can't believe his luck.
He's wearing a Richmond jumper.
Yeah, so from right half forward flank, they go forward now. I reckon that could be cut bar.
Oh, Bobby.
The kick's within 20, and he finds the big fella in Bobby McCallum, who will make the big fella from Morwell, Nick Wilson, pay for his miss a moment ago if McCallum can convert.
Yeah, exactly right. The big ruckman just drifted forward, and he was always going to get that one. He had the sit. There was no contact at all from the defenders from McCallum directly in front now. He is a renowned goal scorer. He can go forward and get you a couple. Will just about go straight through the middle from 40 out. Beautiful left foot kick, and it does. Bob McCallum puts it through the middle to get the first score on the board in this quarter.
This is where Morwell's got to really refocus here too, because it was just their errors that have cost them that goal there as well, and just a little bit of composure down back. But it's that kick inside 53 times. Kingy's been chopping them off, and just their disposal has let them down. It's cost them another goal.
First score of the third quarter. McDonald's Gipps fan scoreboard has Drouin 13 points ahead, 9-4-58, leading Morwell 6-9-45.
Well, it is, you're dead right there, Boxer, with the turnovers. Just trying to bite off a little bit more than they can. Going up to McCallum, handled over the top. Robinson was there. Kick was smothered by Hillier. Goes and gets it himself. Clean handball. Kennedy just dropped it and then had to put a tackle on Morris. And that's the difference at the moment. 1-2 touches compared to the clean hands of Drouin.
Scott, I'd like to see him just play to their strengths, and their strengths at the moment and their wins have been when they've got the ball inside quickly to their bigs and let their littles do the talking, and they just haven't done that. And you're right, they've been really cute with the ball.
Left half forward flank. McCallum gets another tap. Can he find a teammate? He can. There's another long sleeve wearer, and it's in the shape of Fletcher Robertson Edgar. Drouin with a little bit of room to shake. And that's through Tom Barr, will be first player there. Can he find a teammate? He can.
Oh, well
went
picked
over
off.
the top to Reece Solder, but guess what? Morwell, as you heard, picked it off, and now Giath gets his probably his first touch in this quarter. He plays for 50. He's 55 metres from Morwell goals. Can he find a winner here? He goes for Abbas, who has the sit, and he plays on quickly. Can he convert? This could be the one that lifts him. Oh, my goodness. Indeed. And the big man, Abbas, goals from 35. A beautiful right foot kick over his left shoulder brings the Tigers back.
One of the things that Dennis Knight wanted at quarter time was to get the ball inside to Abbas, because I had that mismatch. It worked perfectly then, and we spoke about it only a minute earlier, to get it inside to the bigs. He's done the job right. He's missed two clangers in front. It's as easy as you like, and he gets the hardest one this afternoon. A great goal there by Abbas.
And back to the halftime margin of 7 points in favour of Drouin. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Drouin 9-4-58 and Morwell 7-9-51. We've played 9.5 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, he's really been working on his hands, and he's been able to clunk that one. Ed Morris again goes through the middle. Anderson, though, picked it off, gave it to Hillier by hand.
As run by Mike Moskovich. There's certain people that say orthodoxy, which are...
Ball with the Tigers. Here he goes again. Giant goes up. Not quite the leap. The leap that Abbas had. It went over his head. And Drouin on the half-back line there. This time through Wans. Inboard towards McCullum. Sinks that left slipper into it. Goes to half-forward. Kingy can't mark. Linton was there as well, and Kingy had to tackle him and caused the stoppage, top of the 50 for the Hawks.
We need to give some credit too to Schneider. His quarter has been fantastic. His rebound out of the back line, and even his disposal is just one of the rare Morwell players that have been able to hit mark.
So at the top of 50, drawn to an attack. Musil, no, McCallum, I think, got that tap. Rosado, quick kick forward, goes over the top of a teammate, but finds Giath. Giath finds his teammate in Hecker. Hecker went searching for Abbas. Abbas gained his feet quickly, fed it off nicely. A kick to within 20. He's got the sit. Can he take the mark? I talk of the big guy in Wilson. He couldn't. A minus score. And I tell you what, they're within one straight kick, this home side, the Tigers.
Exactly 6 points the difference, Poppy. It's 7-10-52 Morwell. Drouin 9-4-58. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Kick goes in. The run from the half-back through Wayne Morris. Got that wide to Barr, who didn't take possession. He tapped it back to Wayne Morris. Kicks a wobbly one to the wing. It's a turnover. Linton takes the mark on centre wing. The Tigers are running, and they look dangerous when they move it quick, as Boxer said a couple of minutes ago. It is the Tigers and the Hawks at the Morwell Rec Reserve this afternoon. Musil had it gave it to Leake, who gave it to Scott, kicks it inside. Giath got high and took the mark in front of his defender in Wans. And Kui Giath will go back. He'll kick this from right on 50, you'd think.
One thing that Morwell's been really good at this quarter is the pick-off. Like, they've been able to pick their mark and get the steal or get the turnover back from Drouin.
Look at this.
And bring the ball back in.
Look at Rosado. Oh, no, he's okay.
You got excited then, mate.
Well, I
relax,
thought they were going to let him go there. Rosado was just sort of sneaking down to be by himself, and in fact, he's by himself now. But anyway.
Is he a chance here, Scud?
No, I think he'll be touched on the line, Giath. I don't think he's got 50 in him.
He can do it.
He's going to have to kick it from 48. That might just be enough. He gets it to the goal line. Has it got the carry to the Shepherd?
Touched.
On the line. He
it was.
Good
call.
So another minus score on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Australia's most popular barista-made coffee.
Morwell 7-11-53. Drouin 9-4-58.
As the Hawks bring the ball back into play, they come grandstand side. Can they find a winner? Is starting to tidy up this game. It was a neat kick to Fletcher Robertson Edgar, who goes along the line, kick out the back. Morwell have got some runners, and they're doing it quite nice. It's that man again, Schneider. He goes towards the centre of Recreation Reserve. And now they think about going down the middle. Now they're running into each other, but they've got some numbers and they've got some room. And they've got Abbas as a target around about centre half forward. I thought he was held by 7 hands. Umpire said I didn't see one of them. The Hawks now through Abbas's pressure goes searching. Nicely done it was by Kennedy, who busts the pack right open and opened the door for Rosado, who came right in, took the ball and was taking a tackle as well. Right half forward flank, grandstand side. The visitors, the Drouin Hawks, leading by 5 points.
Oh, we're going to game on. The pressure is starting to intensify. McCullum tapped it over the top. Kingy got one over the shoulder.
Yep.
So Jordan Kingy's got one. And his half-back flank played on quickly. Handballed across to Wans. Kicks it down the line. Ferguson's the target. Siddle spoiled. Leake was at ground level. Falls out the back there to Beck. Oh, Musil came in, met it.
Nice.
Gave the handball up. Now Koss comes in to help out, and we've got a turnover, and we have a stoppage. A boundary throw in right in front of the canteen here at the Morwell Rec Reserve, 70 metres out.
Well, the panic button's hit Drouin too, because Kingy, the coach, has moved himself down back now to try and settle things down.
Musil, big tap out, coming off the Brents there was Salter. Suter did well, gave it back to Musil, kicks it, got dumped after he booted it. Giath puts the afterburners on, kicks it inside 50 with a barrel, and absolutely spots up Tommy Cale. The torpedo passes back, and Cale delivers to Wilson, who takes the mark in front of the defender of Anderson. And big Nick Wilson, who's got one. He's been a focal point down forward for him. Will go back and look to get the Tigers in front.
He needs to look for the handball here. Maybe Hillier or Rosado after his last kick, or maybe he'll be thinking, we'll be giving the hands up, but no one's around him.
All he has to do is aim for the scoreboard. He's half a chance of kicking this.
From 40 metres out, Wilson, has he learnt from his past kick?
Whoa.
It's an upside-down wobbler. It's the worst kick you'll see in history. But guess what? It's worth 6 points, Nick Wilson. 2 goals for today. The multiple goal scorer from the Tigers goes to Wilson.
I can't even call that a helicopter kick.
Well,
that was the up and under frisbee lob. I don't even know what that was. That was just one of
The drop, tumble, torpedo punch.
But no, what about the kick before that, though? The
nice leg.
inside kick from Giath. The inside the barrel, and he kicked it to advantage. That was the thing. So great goal to Morwell. Now they're in front there by 1 point.
I don't reckon they've been in front for a long, long time, Paul Carter.
No, not since the first quarter.
1 point up in the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Ball bounced down, centre back, crucial. Maybe Morwell get the break. They do. Musil taps it to his advantage of teammate Rosado. Rosado kicks to within 30. Giath, front of the pack, and out the back of Bass. Bass looks for a handball. Gets a handball. 2 in a minute. No, but nicely played. He should have made more of that. Was the little fella from Morwell,
Hutchinson.
And it was Hutchinson who would be ruining a lost opportunity there.
2 point lead to Morwell. We've played 15 and a half minutes into the third quarter. 8-12-60. Drouin 9-4-58.
Clayton Kingy again took the mark from fullback, kicked it to the wing. Over the back was Charles, didn't infringe. Now Musil, he's had a big quiet third quarter, taps it out towards McDonald. Kick goes in, board it, starting to turn now. Everything's happening for the Tigers. Snyder just dropped it, was able to recover, got one over the shoulder, he's camped on it. Oh, and the umpire says, I'll ball it up.
Very lucky.
He's spot on there about Dan Musil. He has been the man that's really got Morwell back into the game, and he's playing that sweep and roll as well, and protecting players running through.
Ball up on far wing. This time McCullum tapped it straight down to Jordan Kingy. Judah Leake was there. So Zach Anderson, he got tackled from Jackson Goss. The pressure comes. Now Rosado. Now Beck's under pressure from Hecker. And we'll do it again. We're at the half-forward flank of Drouin at the 16.5-minute mark. And the Tigers, they trailed by 7 points at half-time.
Poppy, do you think the Drouin players' eyes bulge a bit more when Rosado comes towards them?
They would be. I reckon they're put and hits hard, and he does it again. A quick kick forward, this time through Hecker. Bounces out the back. Sometimes luck's a fortune, not this time. Because reading it nicely was Simpson, but he was beaten to it in the end.
Hillier
taking through. Hillier found some ground. I thought dispossessed. Play on was the call. Nice hands by Suter. Over the top, and Hutchinson goes to within a metre. It could be a Bass. He taps it to his advantage and couldn't quite get a handle on it. It spills through for a behind, and that extends the margin, Paul Carter.
To 3 points. 8-13-61 Morwell. Drouin 9-4-58.
Well, equally impressive has been Clayton Kingy for Drouin across this back line. He's got the kick-in duties, kicks it far and wide. Went one-handed. Charles then had to tackle Bailey Beck. Ball comes out. Good work by Ferguson to handle over the back now towards Robertson Edgar. He's under pressure as well from McDonald. They put the pressure onto the Tigers. A quick kick from Bailey Beck. It's the Tigers, but it eludes a couple of them. Gets to the wing. Snyder does well. Handball's out. Ferguson has to win it. Gets the handball towards the boundary line. He's got no help at all. The Tigers have got some numbers. Noblet's there. Now they stack on top of each other.
So what's happened now is Drouin suck themselves into the play, allowing Morwell to come back. It's probably dangerous for Drouin too because they like that springboard play. If the ball comes back quickly, Morwell's got a real big chance here to move the ball forward quickly.
A couple of players starting to run on the spot. Musil, Hecker, he's laid another tackle. They've been working hard. No rotations, or not many rotations in this third quarter, Paul Carter.
Last 7 inside 50s are to Morwell, and they've scored on 7 occasions.
So, all of a sudden, the game's starting to open up, as we alluded to pre-game.
Colby Kennedy's the one that's missing for the Tigers after getting that split nose.
Okay, ball back into play now. They've got a little bit of room to move. They've got the numbers. They just need the bounce. Can't quite get it. The ball spilling end to end. Can they get a handball out? Good tackle in the end by the visitors to hold that ball into play. Right smack bang in the centre of Morwell Rec Reserve.
We just go around the grounds just for Harvey Norman Furniture Stores. Just for the Collingwood supporters, you can get back now. You can breathe. Collingwood back in front, 11-6 to Freo 9-10.
Hillier did well from the stoppage, gave it to Scott, then went to ground. They dive on top of Josh Scott, and the umpire will ball it up just forward to centre for the Tigers here at the 19-minute mark. Third quarter, it's the Tigers by 3 points. We've got a great game on our hands of round 7 action in the TRFM Gippsland League. Newsell tapped it down. Scott's of Terrier put a strong tackle on. On that one was Joe Collins. Now Rosado. Crash. Bang. Tries to get a boot the ball. Scott goes in as well. It is pressure everywhere you look. And again, the umpire wants to clear the area. And we'll ball it up half
To get a free kick for the sling tackle.
Had it go. Nicely done. Rosado put his hand in there. Musell's been good. Fighting hard too, coming through, but not taking anything was Zach Anderson. So they're really having a go. The game really are arm wrestle at the moment. There's not much room to move around the ball. About 24 players. Musell, does he get the tap? No, McCallum does, and does it nicely too. And Drouin turned defence into attack. They're inside forward 50, or are they? Spills to the boundary line. A quick kick from goals. They just need a favourable bounce. They get it. Nicely done. It was Chris Robinson. And to say the visitors needed that was an understatement after Morwell had been doing all the attacking for the past 10 minutes.
Heartbreak in there. Max Linton. Daniel Siddle had Ferguson covered, but Max Linton just lagged off his player, and he went to spoil as well when Siddle had him covered.
The thing was, though, Box, he missed it, didn't he?
He did. He completely missed it. His player had just enough awareness. The ball bounced in his favour, and it was a good run on goal.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Drouin with a 3-point lead now at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. 10-4-64. Drouin to Morwell 8-13-61.
He's been good all day as Chris Robinson for Gippsland Isuzu. On the line, Suda took it and then ran into a Robinson wall. And we'll ball it up just in the middle of the circle of the ground here at Morwell. It is Musell doing all the ruck work against Big Bob McCallum. This time, Bob had 2 goes at it. Beautifully done to Morris. Spears a pass into half forward. Ferguson overran it. Ball gets out the back. Beck, quick handball. Too quick for his teammate, so he went and got it again. He steps with the left foot around the body, and Linton goes back. This time got a fist on it, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. And Ed Morris is starting to lift. The big guns for the Hawks are starting to lift in the red zone of this third quarter. A boundary throw-in, 15 metres around. Short throw in again. Allows McCallum to take it, and the umpire said, no, let's do this again.
I tell you what, the ruckmen need to be on this. They've been throwing the ball in short all day. And there's another example.
This time it comes to ground level. Quick kick out from Judah Leake in the front spot there. Suda tried to put a spoil on. Dives it, drags it back into Drouin. And again, we'll have a ball up this time. We're 40 metres out from Drouin's goal. They're kicking towards the city end here at Morwell. The Tigers are going towards the open cut area of the ground. It's a third quarter. Been a good one. Hillier from the stoppage. On the boot to the wing area. And marking that one is Wayne Morris.
A slip-slide catch by Morris in front of our TRFM commentary position. Play on's the call. Abbas closes in quickly. The kick was neat, short and accurate to teammate in Liam Axford, who from inside the centre square will kick within 25 metres. Can he find a teammate? He can't. A good punch attempt from Linton. And now kick around the corner. Will it find the goals? It won't.
Again.
It's been Musell who's been best man on the ground in this third quarter. Takes a mark. Plays on. Grandstand side. The target was Abbas. He has to beat 2. He nearly did. Got hands on the ball. Couldn't quite pull it in. But lays a nice tackle as a second effort. Left half forward flank. Drawn into attack. Still grandstand side, Boxer.
Geez, we've spoken about Abbas's hands over the last couple of times. I've seen him today. They've been on.
Yep, big one there. And there's a foot, and they're going against Abbas on that occasion.
Yeah.
So the big ruckman, big Bob McCallum, just got there a bit quicker. So McCallum will have it. He's probably too far out to score. He will be now as Suda gains an extra couple
of short options here if he wants to go over the top.
Chip it. Ed Morris is the one. How do you let Ed Morris on his own? Giath is just covering space at the minute. Morris will get this, and that is poor. To be honest, Morris is their best midfielder. You just can't let him free anywhere. Because this kick...
And now McCallum's an option too. No, here he goes.
And don't forget, he got the slight breeze as well, so he's got a chance here.
He won't make the distance, but he's a beautiful kick. I think this will drop short or in the hot spot. He puts it on its way. It's going, and Abbas, well, lucky he got back. He punched it through. And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, 23 minutes gone.
Drouin 10-5-60. 5 leading by 4 points over Moore, who are 8-13-61.
Just another round of grounds thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. GWS late into the last quarter, 94. They lead the Suns 37.
Oh, GF goes in, board. I tell you what, how he didn't give that ball away, I don't know, but they're not done with yet. The Hawks, a quick kick around the body, offline, out of play in the full.
Whiz.
They get another life to Morwell, who fought so hard to get back into this game. Can't give it up with decisions, execution like that. He'll kick from 45. He's a good kick. You've heard it today, but that one just under a tad of pressure. He pulled it to the right-hand side of the goals, and it's another minor score as the Tigers play on quickly.
Through Noblet, doesn't know where to go. He's run a long way. He's got his kick away. Hillier's got to go up against Kingy. Pushed him out the way.
Oh, no, I thought that was fair. But
And Clayton Kingy again. McDonald's Gippsland score with the margin 5 points. Kick goes in board to Morris, who takes the mark under enormous pressure.
Giath hurt.
Morris kicks to the fat side. McCullum will fly. Mutual spoil. Tommy Barr at ground level. Over the hands to Salter, who kicks around the body and they're peppering. But it's all to no avail. Another minor score, Paul Carter.
Drouin 10-7-67, leading by one straight kick now, 6 points. Over all 8-13-61, 25-minute mark, third quarter.
Oh, well, just like an arm wrestle, Morwell had the ascendancy but couldn't complete the job, and now Drouin have started to gain control as we edge towards the major break, the last break of the day. So this premiership quarter has been a real good tussle. The outer side of the ground, I thought a free kick should have been paid. It wasn't. Play on to the call. The Hawks continue to apply the heat, and they're doing it quite well from right half forward flank. Can they go forward? On the end of that one was the ones, but couldn't find a teammate. And now Musil, he couldn't get a handle on it, and Reece Salter will have another shot at goal. He kicks to within 15. They've got the sit. Can they take the mark? They can't. It'll go through for a minor score. Compliments of a rush behind.
10-8-68, Drouin up against Moore, 8-13-61.
Noblet runs a long way again.
Goodness.
And it's a wobbly kick. Found Linton top of the 50.
Abbas.
He wants to move it on quickly. It's Kale or Abbas. They both fly. It gets over the back. Nails it. Wins it. Took on a tackler. Handballed out towards Joel Suter. Just took his eyes over the last minute. Then got crunched. Coming the other way there was Wans. Kicks it to half forward. Over the top of the Beck's head. Linton has to go. Goes to ground. Ferguson did well. Gave it to Beck. Over the top. Now it runs in. This is Bailey. Shot on goal and puts it through. And to the 26-minute mark, Bailey Beck, the sharpshooter from Drouin, get 3.
Just another mistake. Turnover goal from Morwell. I think young Tommy Carl just went to ground. His handball just didn't hit the mark. Drouin was good enough. Get it out to the safe foot of Beck, and he kicks his third for the afternoon.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Drouin now with a 13-point lead, 27-minute mark of the third quarter. Drouin 11-8-74, Morwell 8-13-61.
Well, it's about this moment in the second quarter that Morwell made a move, so Drouin should be well aware that they haven't got the lead that they're going to need as Musil grabs their ball, but he can't get a clean possession out. He's taken to the ground. There'll be another bounce down.
It just seems like Moore's given everything for that first 18 minutes, and all of a sudden they're a little bit out of steam.
Yeah, well, few players that have been running on the spot we mentioned, and at this stage they need to find the scoreboard again, and they could do it right now. As they go forward, they come grandstand side on the end of it, but needing a bounce, and they're just not getting it, are they? Just at the minute. The player they were looking for at the moment was Will Kennedy. He just got an unfavourable bounce. He had a little bit of room to move if it kicked up favourably for him. So it'll be Musil and McCallum contesting. McCallum gets a nice punch forward, gains 10 metres with that nice knockout. First player there, though, was Kennedy again. Goes towards centre half forward. Here we go. Nicely done. He can be dangerous, Tommy Barr. And he couldn't quite
Bailey
hit
Beck.
the major scoreboard. And Bailey, who's kicked 3, nearly got his hands for a 4th. And I tell you what, this could be 50. I don't know why it's not, but anyway, he's made the advantage. Player down behind, play boxer.
I'll keep an
Picked
eye on
that one out.
Downfield, boys.
Made a
Yep,
free kick
downfield.
downfield, and you know what? That will cost Drouin because they had a little bit of room to move. It'll be a free kick for the Tigers.
I think it's...
And if they play on quickly, they can make Drouin pay.
Yeah, Liam Axford's down behind play. He's been down for a little while now. He's just got to his feet, but he's holding his neck, so hopefully everything's okay there.
So Snyder's the one who's got the free kick, which was downfield. He chips it over the top. Scott presented, takes a nice mark in front of his eyes. They're on the wing, the Tigers. 29 minutes have gone. Last third quarter it is. It's a 14-point margin. Scott chips it over the top to Zach Anderson, who can mark. A slow play. Chips it over the top again. Musil, he's been the best on ground in this third quarter for Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Musil chips it over the top. Presenting there was Kennedy, marked on his chest. They look to wheel and go.
Got to go now. Abbas is the target, surely.
So he goes now to that direction. Wilson could be the target, who flies. It comes to ground. Drouin with all the numbers, and a barrel kick out on the three-quarter time siren came from Joe Collins. Well, the Tigers, you'd fancy they had all the play in the quarter. However, the margin went from 7 points, Drouin. It's now extended out to 14. So after all that's said and done, the Hawks extend the margin to 14 points, and they own it at three-quarter time, 11-9-7.
How big this game is for them as well. So they're really emphasising the fact that they'll just try and curb that real spurt from Morwell. And then get back in control like they did in that second half of that quarter. So they believe it'll be the first 5 minutes. We'll just see how that game pans out, Daryl.
Well, Bailey Beck's gone to the middle of the ground for the Hawks, looking for a little bit of that young run with Morris and Robinson. And it'll be Musil and big fella McCallum. Good work by Hecker there. Gave it to teammate Rosado. Swung around in the tackle. Got it out towards Suter. And Tommy Barr's just got tackled by Brereton. He's able to get the handball away. Noblet goes up. He's got 3 to beat. Here's Morris, twisting, turning, back towards the handballs out the back. That was Wans, kicks down the line. Luke has got the set, but read it beautifully was Bailey Beck. Todd it is. So Todd, Kingy presents to him to the pocket. He kicks it over the top. He's got his brother Bailey there and goes up, can't mark. Ferguson front and square. Beck comes into hand, little toe poke. Ferguson tries to clear it with a handball, can't do so. Now they swoop on it. Snyder tries to crash his way through, couldn't. Giath has it, his turn. And not going anywhere. Finally, the umpire said we'll ball it up. However, we're inside the forward 50 for Drouin. 40 metres out, it's the 1 minute in. As we said, the Hawks lead by 14 points.
You'd think the Tigers need to kick this first goal, don't you? But Hawks are doing the attacking. They kick within 15 metres. They need a favourable bounce. I thought pushed in the back there was overlooked, but Rosado comes up with the ball. The kick is poor. It spills through 3 or 4, goes over the top of a couple as well, and then finds itself at left half-back flank where Robertson fights hard. Giath taken off the ball as he was trying to find a bit of room. Nicely done. A series of handballs starting with Wayne Morris. Opens the door. Can they take the mark? They can't. Linton kicks the ball off the ground and the race is on. The player that will win that race is a little fella in Cody McDonald.
He does well. He's got to turn a foot. Chips it inboard, though. Hillier does the contest. He did well. It's going to come back, though. Bailey Beck bombs it in. It was Todd, sorry. Again, I get them confused all the time. Leak, Siddle under pressure, just panicked with a handball. Falls in the hands of McCullum. He's under pressure. Gets it to the hot spot. And Musil's got the set. Oh, he muffed it. Luckily, it's close to the line. It goes over for a minor score.
A 15-point lead to Drouin at the 2-minute mark in the last quarter. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Drouin 11-10-76. Maul 8-13-61.
So the ball to come grandstand side. A little bit of room to move, and he backs himself in too. Comes to looking for a Bass. Needs to take the mark. Can't. Goes over the back. Pushing the back. Calls Boxer. And McCulloch. He's happy to see the ball over the boundary line, right smack bang in front of our TRFM commentary position. It's just forward of left half back for the Tigers.
Let's go around the ground quickly for Harvey Norman Furniture. Leon Gathar, they are 9.559. They trail Sale 9.963. Mapra 9.761. They lead Murray 5.333 and one Thaggy 5.838. They lead Bairnsdale 4.630.
Big tap there by Abbas, but out there was Wayne Morris. Gave it across now to his teammate Wans. He was under pressure with a kick. Brereton has to work, head over it. Crashed his way in. Giath kept his feet. Gave it to Rosado. Got a boot to ball. Goes a little bit chaos. There's McDonald. Just bounces away from him. Now he tries to get out of it. Lost it. Has to go again. Hawks have got some numbers in there. Bailey Beck was one of those. Ball just bobbling around. Morris gave it to Ed Morris. Then was under pressure. Play on, said the umpire. Robertson Edgar was the one for the Hawks. Gave it to Barr. Tries to get around 2 or 3, does so. Left foot kick down the line's a nice one. And found his teammate there in, is it Salter? It is. He's got one that he can handle to. He chips it inboard. Found Bailey Beck. He's been busy this afternoon. Wait for the options. His brother presented. Chips it out wide to Robinson. We know he's got a big thumping kick on him. He unloads from 50. It's going back away from the goals. And last line there, Cos. Oh, he had a fresh airy. Great tackle by
again.
Dan Musil.
Second half has been good. Paul Carter.
It's 11-11, 77 Drouin to Morwell 13-61.
Oh, they're into attack. They just need a bounce. They've got a overlap going. Can they get around? They can. Hillier stops, props, right half-back flank, kicks long. McDonald provides a good contest, but he can't bring the ball down. He can lay the tackle and apply just a little bit of pressure. Is it enough? It is, just to keep the ball in the area, and that's a win for Morwell, given they were outnumbered. Outer side wing, Morwell rec reserve. We've played, as you heard, 4.5 minutes final quarter, and the home side trailing by 16 points. They need desperately the next goal.
So Bass will do it. Up against McCallum. Bass tapped it down to Giath, who kicks around the body. It's 2-on-1. Hutchison had to cause the contest. He did. He works hard at ground level. Dowell was there as well. Ball popples out. Tommy Barr's been good. So's this man, Hecker. He had a fresh airy. Suter, great handball to Rosado. Chips it out wide. He's got Hillier, and he goes back with a flight, takes the mark. In front of Robinson. Is he too far out to score, Tyler?
He is.
I've spoken to him 1 million times about knowing your limitations. This could be a moment that he gets deported from the family. He's on a 45-degree angle. He'll have to kick it from 50. I'm not sure it's in him. Anderson presents.
Kicking into the teeth of this breeze.
5 minutes in from 48. He puts it up. He could prove his uncle wrong. I think he has. It is through. He's not only in the family, he's now gone to legend status. Hillier gets another.
That's incredible. That was a great kick. And the thing about the kick, and pity it's on radio, they didn't get to see the kick, was an up and under. He actually ran that close to the man on the mark. It could have just gone straight up in the air, but he got enough distance in it. He got his uncle wrong. Yep. Now a great goal to Morwell, back into a 10-point game.
He looked up at the commentary position and he looked up and he said, always be good to the family.
Drouin leading by 10 points on the Turnbull Gippsland scoreboard, 6 minutes last quarter.
So McCallum gets a tap. Centre break crucial, as they are for most of the day, but none more important than right now. Rosado leads the race for the ball. He's being tracked by Musil and 3 opponents. He beats all of them. Handballs over the top to McDonald. He had time to straighten up his left foot kick to a Bass. Will mark on the arc of 50. His angle worse than 45 degrees.
Hecker.
Out the back it's going to go. Hecker was the call. Hecker was the man. A kick around the body. Don't tell me. Yes, indeed. Hecker says, if my mate Beck can do it, so can I, and he does. And the Tigers get within a kick.
You know what I love
20
about
minutes to go.
You know what I love about Hecker? He doesn't get many possessions, but when he does something with them. You know, his pressure at ground level is fantastic, but his disposal inside 50. How dangerous is this kid? Wow.
That's now a 4-point margin. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, 7 minutes in the final term. Drouin 11-11, 77. Morwell 10-13, 73.
Here's the big moment of the game for Monticello's. Jordan King, he spoke about the wave that will come from the Tigers. Do the Hawks respond?
This is where it's really important now for Morwell. Don't just continue on with that 5-minute patch. Just keep that momentum going now.
This is where Rosado being tagged at the moment by Axford, trying to null his influence of the game, trying to bust it back. Morris, a quick handball to Kingy. He's been good today too. Kick to it in 5. It's a number of players, one of which was Collins on his hands and knees. A handball out when everyone appeared to stop was Axford. Musil again to his teammate. They're out of trouble, or are they? Just play on was the call. Lucky, I thought. Kick towards the boundary line. In fact, that would be a good result again for Morwell because the pressure has been lifted. The ball to be thrown back in, left half forward flank, outer side of the ground. The Hawks, the visitors, kicking to the highway end and leading by 4 points.
8 minutes gone, final quarter, and it'll be Musil and McCallum that will do ruck duties as they have most of the afternoon. Over the back was Musil. Working hard there is Hutchison at ground level. He goes, puts on a strong tackle again.
Good tackle.
On Harry Wands. And we'll have another ball up. True centre wing on the far side here at the Morwell Rec Reserve. It's been a dry Saturday afternoon. And what a great game of football we've witnessed again. Does Musil go up, puts a hand on it. Ground level working hard there with the Hawks. Ed Morris was one of those. Scott's at all fours as well. Ball bobbles out to Rosado. Strong tackle on him as well. No opportunity, the umpire said. We'll ball it up. 9 minutes gone now. 4-point margin. The Hawks are hanging on.
So McCallum up against Musil, got the tap, went over the top of Musil and went over nice and high too, but couldn't find a teammate. As we check some scores around the grounds, the game between the Giants and the Suns.
Yeah, the Giants, massive winners over the Suns, 19-12, 126, defeated the Suns, 6-7, 43.
Musil gets the tap, finds Rosado. Rosado got found himself. There'll be a throw up over the outer side of the ground.
Box up.
Yeah, well, look out. We might have a riot downtown somewhere. The Freo Dockers have done something they've never been able to do. They've won in Melbourne. They've beaten the Pies, you beauty, 11-13, 79 to 11-9, 75.
Now you know the pain that Scud and I went through last night.
Yeah, sorry, Marty. I just make sure we cooked dinner tonight.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. We haven't really travelled too far here, boys and listeners, because there was another stoppage on that far wing. And again, this time it clears the area from a McCallum tap. Good work there by Axford, top of the 50. Anderson was back, so was Hutchison. They gave it up. Now it falls in the hands of quick handball. Around one, couldn't get round the other one. Got a handle away, snapped around the body. There's a whistle. Ed Morris has been pinged for throwing the footy. And now he goes on with the Maxi Linton. The Tigers have got the free kick, so Linton should get away from this.
And it probably should have been a 50.
So, yeah, they kicked it, didn't they, afterwards? McDonald. He goes lateral, and he found Musil. Still in defensive 50 of the Tigers. Chips it over the top to Hillier, who can mark. Looks down the line. Anderson's on his own. He goes in that direction. So Scott, he had to go back with courage. And he ends up, won the free kick. He's on the wing, is Josh Scott. Chips it towards the half-forward flanker. Bass will fly! Oh. And take a strong mark. Half-forward flank build-up. Numbers flood back.
Push back a Bass, that's it.
They flood back in the forward 50. Abbas will just kick it high. It's a hoping kick. Wilson will be the one that will fly and elevate. Can't mark. Ground level is Giath. Spins around. Right, left foot snap around the body. It's all the Hawks. Going back, Robinson.
Here we
now
go.
The ball's in dispute. Kennedy, left foot kick was smothered. The Hawks are away. Last line of defence. This time it's back there with Dower. Kicks it out wide. Leak and Bailey Beck. Beck and Leak has got two to beat. Leak and found the touch. We've got a boundary throw in front of them all. Social Rooms. It is a 4-point margin in favour of Drouin. 11 and a half minutes gone. Rob Popplestone on TRFM.
Well, the crowd's a bit thin, but what's here be enjoying a good game of footy. The ball just on the intersection of boundary and 50. Morwell into attack. Can they edge it forward? They can. They'll find Giath. He'll kick to within 20. It's an up and under. Front of the pack, Hecker. Back of the pack, Wilson. I thought Wilson taken high. Play on was the call. Trying hard to bust out of the pack was Hecker, but he can't. There'll be a ball up.
How unlucky is Nick Wilson? You might as well go to the cop shop up the road because he just got assaulted 5 times over and he just got nothing for it.
Abbas got high. Tapped out to Suter. Snap around the body. Well done to Liam Anderson. Last line of defence. He got a fingernail to it. It could be a game saver.
10-14, 74 more. Drouin, 11-11, 77.
15 minutes or so to go. Plenty of time to win or lose this game. The player to bring the ball back into play is Harry Wands. He goes short to our man in Kingy, who's been busy. They go inboard again. They're under pressure. Giath applying that pressure. He's putting all sorts of Hecker. He's got a chance for goal. His left foot kick will find the big man.
Big
Wilson.
fella.
And Wilson is 100 to 1 to kick this goal. So he plays on quickly and he finds Giath. Smack bang in front of goal. 10 metres out directly in front, but the umpire's going to call it back. And I've never seen a big man cry, but Wilson's close.
I tell you what, with his kick that he did before, he's a chance.
Here we go.
He kicks it around the body and he kicks across the face of goals. He registered a score and every score counts.
And it's now a 2-point margin in Drouin's favour. They're 11-11, 77 on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Morwell 10-15, 75.
I'll tell you what we will know, boys. If the Tigers happen to get one and get in front, the young juniors behind the goals at the Travis Street end of the ground, they'll be up and about. We'll certainly know the result, so keep an eye on them. as this final quarter progresses.
Just wonder if we're going to see the same as Vansop did last week and win the game in behind.
Well, we know that Drouin, on history in the first round, 6 rounds, they have stopped in last quarters. They've got to attack and find something, and they go straight down the middle of the ground. Ferguson presents and takes the mark. Right in the middle, there's no one in the forward 50. He has to wait, does Ferguson. He can chip it over the top, and he found a nice one there in Jolly, who finally got the mark. Jolly squares it up out wide. Salter's the target, finds him. Giath mans the mark with the intent. Salter looks to Beck, who presents. This is the Todd variety. Good spoil by Noblet. They both go to ground. The ball trickles over for a boundary throw-in. Good results for the Hawks.
Darryl, I am in awe of young Hecker. How good is he? I just can't believe it. I know it was 2 minutes ago, but I still can't believe what he just achieved then with Nick Wilson.
Well, did a good job, didn't he? Now Bass needs to do the same, and so does McCallum. McCallum knocks out the back, hoping to find a teammate. There was no one there for him, or was there? Robertson, a quick handball, tackled by Giath. The tackle was on, and now spilling out to the hands of Morris, who gives and goes towards goal. It's going to be touched. Right defence. And Musil does it again. His second half's been good. So the game can be won and lost in the next 15 minutes. They play on quickly again, doing more well. Grandstand side. Abbas, who's been marking brilliantly, does it again. Left half-back flank. He just needs to find a winner. He's got a target. The kick was poor. And he gives it up to Robertson, who goes inside. His kick equally was no good. Rosado went for the don't argue, missed the don't argue. The ball held by the tackler, and a good call by the umpire, I thought, despite the cheers of the Drouin crowd.
They can boo as much as they like. It was held to him. It wasn't a free kick. Good decision, Scotty Baker.
11-12, 78 Drouin, 10-15, 75 Morwell.
Big tap out by McCallum, trying to take on the tackle. There was Morris. Ball comes out. Now a handball to Beck, goes to Beck. And it was Bailey into the pocket it goes. Ferguson's there, kept it in. Handball's back out towards Jolly. We've got a boundary throw in. And again, the boys will reset. Tigers will find their numbers. Drouin will look to get a little bit of space and to try and sneak one through. And the Hawks are holding on. Ball comes back into play. Front spot was Musil. Kennedy gave it up. Anderson was there. Good handball out the back. They fight again. Leak squeezes out. Musil handballs to a dangerous spot. Anderson was there. They dive on top of it. Beck was the one. Todd was the one to put some pressure on. And again, umpire says, let's do it directly in front now. 35 metres out from Drouin's goal.
I don't know what the percentages are, but they'll be very close to this. I reckon Drouin have been leading for about 97% of this game.
Yep.
The bit that counts is a bit at the end, and it's going to be right down the wire. The ball will be thrown up 20 metres from Drouin goals. The margin 3 points favouring the visitors. The time clock said 16 and a quarter minutes played. Final quarter. 20 people around the ball. Musil jumps high, gets a tap, picks up the crumbs and kicks 25, into the centre square. Hecker went up and came down hard. Nicely done by him.
Ed Morris.
It's, Ed Morris, who found a teammate right on the arc of 50, and that teammate was, of course, Eddie Morris. It was kicked to him from Chris Robinson.
So Morris too far out. He kicks to the pocket. It's a beautiful kick.
Too easy.
And a great lead as well. They just waited. Joe Collins received it. He's hard up on the boundary line. And will he go back? He's going to have a shot at goal. Will he try to cover himself in glory? It's at the 17-minute mark of the last quarter. Your team leads by 3. He goes to banana and puts it through the middle. And Joe Collins waits for his teammates to come and give him the congratulations. Cuddle, that could be the one that might seal it. Have the Tigers got another one in them?
Yeah, so Darryl, but what a great, Morris just did some really good work there, a couple of passages of play, and just had enough experience and awareness to hit up Collins, and I actually was surprised. I was actually going to write him off, but that banana kick worked really well. Great goal to Drouin.
9-point lead at the 17-minute mark of the final quarter for Drouin on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. Drouin 12-12, 84. Morwell 10-15, 75.
Most quarters been going for 27-plus minutes, I think, from memory, so plenty of time. Musil got beaten to by McCallum. Nice quick kick forward by Drouin through Axford. Towards the outer side of the ground. The race is on. Nicely done. Good tackle.
Great tackle.
Held it just for a moment too long, I thought there. Coming in late was Charles. He gives it up and it kicks to within 20 metres. I thought a free kick against Drouin on that occasion, but maybe I'm looking at something the umpire's not, because Drouin pick up the crumbs and kick for goal. That could be the sealer just to the left. Pulls it skinny and a behind. Opens the margin, Paul Carter.
To 10 points, 12-13-85 Drouin. Morwell 10-15, 75.
Judalik played on, got it out to Anderson outside his 50, turns around, gets to the wing. Abashwa with a target, couldn't go mark it. Ball just tapped out. Robinson's had a big game for Drouin. Handball from Beck comes inboard to Morris. They go further afield. Kick around the body there was from Collins. High, it goes inside forward 50. And a mark from Ferguson. Is he right on the 50? Is a thumping kick. He rolls around from 55. It goes to the hot spot. Musel's got the city, had his one arm held. Roved it around, beautifully done. And that's the sealer, you'd think. Reece Salter gets another one, and the Drouin supporters go ape droppings.
Yeah, fantastic work there by Salter. Bobby McCullum had two players to beat. They both went to McCullum. They left Salter on his own. He was in the perfect spot. Again, we see another goal around the corner. This time, probably a match mini one as well.
And that takes Drouin's lead to 16 points at the 19-minute mark of the last quarter. 13-13, 91 on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. To Morwell 10-15, 75.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've seen it a few times today. Let's see if we see it again where teams get a run of goals. It's sort of gone back and forward so far, and just when you think the game's over, it has another twist to it. Let's see if we can see another twist. It would be nice to finish off that way. We might not get it. Drouin first play. You feel as though they've lifted their tempo.
I see a lot of tired players.
Yep.
Poppy, I noticed it before early in the quarter. Then they got another spurt on. They hit that little flat patch again now, more. They just need to bounce back out of that rut now.
McCullum, beautiful tap down to Axford, goes straight up and down. No one can mark that one. Musil tapped it towards the Tigers' goals. Off the back there was very nicely done by Wans. Kicks around the body, found his target. And that is Koss. Handballs over the top to Kingy, the coach. Left foot drives it inside forward 50. Long lead was Beck. And he goes up, elevates and marks. In the end, the ball just dropped towards his knees. He was in the air and he took the mark. It was Beck in front of Leake. And Bailey Beck's got 3 goals to go back at the 21-minute mark and seal the game for the Hawks. Away from home, it's going to be a big win. They haven't won a final quarter in season 2019, and this could be the one as Bailey Beck comes in from 30 metres out to seal the game off the boot. It working back, not enough. It's a minor score. The door still slightly ajar.
Drouin 13-14-92 on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, leading by 17 points. Morwell 10-15, 75.
To Noblet. Again, plays on. Gets out, goes back to the far side where he gets on his right foot. Kicks it out wide. McDonald goes up, can't mark. He tried to claim the mark there, did Koss. And then he gave a handball out. Beck gave it across. Wans gave it back to Beck. Took on the McDonald tackle. Ball comes out. Kingy. Underground handball back to Wans. Left foot kick around his body. Inside 50 it dribbles. Salter waited for it. Noblet kicked it over. And we got a boundary throw in. Drouin and Tigers hands on knees. Both sides out on their feet. The Tigers need something. They trail by 17 points. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard.
So inside forward 50, boundary throw, and it's short again, and the umpire says take 2.
We've got some training during the week, no doubt.
We have indeed. Bowler Special K wouldn't go astray. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. He's walked in 15 and thrown it another 5. First player there, it's going to be Drouin, and it's nicely done too. I reckon it could have been Todd Beck who grabs and kicks, and I tell you what, it's all a bit too easy now for Drouin. You get the feeling Morwell running in the spot, or on the spot.
Ominous signs now, Poppy.
Yeah, it is too.
I want you to get it right for once.
I got it right then, didn't I?
No. Yeah.
Are you
Ominous. Ominous. What did I say? Ominous.
Got an M in it, mate.
Forget it. That's it. I'm done.
Well, this time...
I hate that word.
Tear that page out of your dictionary, mate.
That's it. Gone.
The ominous sign for the Tigers as Bailey Beck comes in. He stabs at it, keeps it low, and this time he's kept it to the near side.
It's now 3 straight goals. They're 13-15-93. Drouin to 10-15-75.
Just a call out to me mate at work who actually told me that's the way you say it. So thanks for stitching me up anyway, so thank you.
Down the middle they go. No one can really mark it. The ball's in the middle. It's had one kick. Giath, handball's out wide. Suter was there. The underground handball literally went underground. Axford swooped on it for the Hawks. Drove it towards half forward. Beck Gets over the back. Morris has been superb all day. Handballs out in the run of Todd Beck. Gathers it. Not quite. Rosado was there. Squeezing ball out the back from Linton. Beck does well again with the smother. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 23 and a half minutes gone. This is all done. It's 18-point margin now. Poppy?
Well, I reckon I refuse to give it up just yet, boys. I refuse to give it up. The odds are definitely against them all, boys, so let me say that. 3 goals in 3 minutes. Hang on, they've done that before, haven't they?
Well,
here we go. Last line of defence, and it's another mark for Drouin. This could be the sealer. In fact, any score by Bailey Beck, who's kicked 3 today, would be good enough, you'd think. Kick around the body. I wouldn't believe it. No score whatsoever.
So it didn't help,
Poppy.
Well, you know, it's unlike him. He's been pretty good today, but I guess my point is they still need 3 straight goals, Morwell, and they've probably got 3, 4, 5 minutes tops kicked towards the outer side of the ground. They need to just take the ball up and goal and quickly. They've done it before. They need to do it again, but I tell you what, Drouin aren't going to let them do it with ease because there'll be a bounce down outer side of the ground, left half forward flank for the Hawks.
If they're going to do that, Poppy, they need to go more attacking.
Yeah.
You know, pushing it wide now is really going to put it back into Drouin's hands.
Robertson's playing a loose man down back too now for the Hawks, so any forward thrust the Tigers do get from these stoppages will most likely, if it's under pressure, go straight down Robinson's throat. So again, we've got a boundary throw in now. It's about where the 50 meets the boundary. At the 24 and a half minutes, make it 25 minutes gone.
That's now the 10 inside 50s to Drouin.
So, Poppy, are you going to actually say it now? It's a 25-minute mark. They've got to kick 4 goals to win.
Never give up, mate. You never, ever give up. I'm not sure where you came from, but I never give up until the final siren goes.
Well, here they go from the half-back line. Charles blazes away. He kicks it to an open space. Will it bounce in the way of the Tigers? The Drouin numbers have got some good ones back. Collins was there, gets over the back. Giath snaps around the body. Wilson can't get a contest. And Anderson takes the mark in the last line of defence.
He's a freak, Giath. Yep. He got that out of nothing.
Anderson keeps it towards the boundary line. Closing was McDonald. Nice mark there from Clayton Kingy. Had some good performance for the Hawks. He's one of those for Gippsland Isuzu. Clayton Kingy kicks it high towards the grandstand. Collins will fly over the back. And that was William Collins. Abbas had to stand and wait, and it goes over. We've got a boundary thrown right in front of the Mool coach's box at the 26 minutes now gone. Time against the Tigers. Drouin have withheld the fight and kicked a couple themselves. 18-point margin. Kingy from the stoppage, left foot kick around his body, half forward flank. Musil takes the mark. They get it to the far side. They play on by hand. Anderson has it. He's in the middle. He squares it up out wide to Cale. It landed at his toes, grabbed it. He can draw the handball out towards Judaleek, lowers the eyes towards Giath, goes over his head. Big Bob McCullum's gone back.
Yeah, just some bad news quickly. Looks like Zach Anderson's just done his shoulder in that contest, Darryl.
Well, it's about to come back in. Leak will unload. It goes high in towards Tigers forward line, but Jordan Kingy, there's a free kick for a Shepherd, and Anderson will be the one. Quick hands on to Kingy.
Oh, I'm willing to give it up now, Boxer. No chance now. That margin, 3 straight goals. Probably a fair representation of the way Drouin have kept Morwell at arm's length today. They had their moments, but they didn't manage to make the most of them as the ball lands in the arms of our friend over there with the long sleeve jumper in Fletcher Robertson. Edgar goes short. Another teammate, I reckon that's number 10, and that's Tommy Barr. It's going through the motions now, running that clock down. He goes along the line also. Will he find another teammate? He does. In fact, it may be out in the full, or it's definitely out of play, I thought. Yeah, the boundary umpire says I'll throw that one back in.
Well, they've been good, haven't they? And I think they've been led really well today, the Hawks, by Ed Morris in particular. I think their run from both the Beck boys has been fantastic. And we had a boundary thrown, but of course it dropped short, so we'll do it again. And Tom Barr's been great across half-back as well. And, of course, the big ruckman in McCullum. So their leaders and their experienced players have stood up when it counted. And they're the ones who responded. Salter and Collins getting last quarter goals after they were challenged early in the final quarter. Goals to Hillier and Hecker. Really got them up and about. The margin got as close as 2 points in this final quarter. As the ball comes back into play now. Schneider was back there at ground level. Oh, quick kick. Rosado dumped him. Right on the full-time siren. It won't matter. There might be a shot on goal, will there? The downfield kick will go in the way of Beck. It'll be Todd Beck. And he's going to go back and have a shot. The Hawks have won it, by the way. It's an 18-point margin at the moment. But Todd Beck will go back and have a shot at goal after the siren. He's going to have to kick this all of 70 metres. It'll have to be a barrel. He's lining up for the big torpedo from 70 metres. He gets onto it, sort of. It's going to drop short. Well, he put a foot out, and in the end, it doesn't score. And the Hawks are victorious away from home, and they've won, finally, a last quarter where they win at 13 goals, 15-93, and they have defeated the Tigers 10 goals, 15-75, albeit they won the quarter by 4 points, but still it was enough in the end, an 18-point margin. And a great victory for Drouin. Bailey Beck got 3 goals. Chris Robertson got 2 with Tommy Barr and singles. And William Collins, Jacob Simpson, Reece Salter and Todd Beck, along with Joe Collins and the ruckman in Big Bob McCullum. A good afternoon. Well, for the Hawks, they go possibly back into the top 5. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with all the interviews out of the rooms. Of course, the key stats on the day where the Hawks won it by 18 points. This is Gippsland Live, and it's for Harvey Norman Electrical.
Fitzy and Whipper.
Matt Damon, guys, he's so not like you.
What do you mean?
He was seen at the Ballina Kmart.
You don't even know what Kmart is.
You're right.
Probably
We shop
because
at
it's a type of gum.
Target is so good for kids'
You
clothes.
can't get Ralph Lauren at Target,
Don't
mate.
need Ralph Lauren, mate.
I'm
Kids.
sorry.